Yes, a special one from the CEO, stand coming with the spoon. And your boy, Friday the Southern Band. Charges on the beat.
To the spoon to get your information. To the spoon to be part of our discussion. Spoon, spoon, spoon television. Spoon, spoon, spoon radio station.
Spoon gonna tell you what is happening in Liberia. Spoon gonna tell you what is happening in Monrovia. Spoon gonna tell you what is happening in Africa. Just to spoon you will know. If the children crying for starvation, just to spoon. You want to get a news update, brother, to spoon. You want to know what is happening in Monrovia, to spoon. Politicians want to make their decision, just to spoon. You want to know what happening in the ministry, to spoon. To spoon. To spoon. You from Fonjema, Maryland, to spoon. To spoon. If you eat kepan, graduate, my brother, to spoon. You got a spoon TV, you got a spoon radio, to spoon. To spoon. You want to get a news update, to spoon. What? Yeah. Rastafari. Kilibamba, kilibamba, kilibamba. Kilibamba, kilibamba, kilibamba. What I want? Yes, man, you back today.
Spoon TV. Spoon.
Yes, man, you back today.
Spoon.
Beseku.
Spoon TV. Spoon.
Ba.
Spoon.
Skibidi dabado.
Spoon TV. Spoon entertainment.
Kuwa. Beseku kudileo. Kuwa kudileo.
To the spoon to get your information. To the spoon to be part of our discussion. Spoon television. Spoon radio station. Spoon television.
Yes, a special one from the CEO, stand coming with the spoon.
Yeah.
And your boy, Friday the Southern
Yeah, I mean, I get a car, I get for you. Did I be? You see your girlfriend? I don't see you.
You know something, some of you just here fooling us. You're not doing us justice. People have no idea how it takes for a city government, especially our CDC we know. CDC don't struggle for victory. CDC we know 2014, CDC don't struggle for victory. It's a wake-up call to CDC next, maybe 2029 something. Should be told, from the look of things, the people really beat us. The people voted against us with millions of anger. Yeah? Some of us behind the CDC since 2005, we have not even worked in government. But because of the love we have for this party, that's what kept us still going. You need to be honest to tell people the truth on here, me. You know how some of us feeling right now? You know how many homes going have issues? Parents going out of job? Hell no, me. I need to be honest, me. You know something I can openly say, I'm one of those pricing who do not have a pricing in the CDC government, but yet and still, I have still been committed to my party because the love for my party. Since 2005 up till now, I have not gotten government job. I have not worked in this government. I will say it here today openly, the only person I help in this government for certain time is the commissioner, Commissioner Namwe. Apart from that, nobody in the CDC government I have ever gotten help from. With that being said, I still stood my ground as sedition. Some of us talk about personal money. The ones supposed to put food on our table for our children to eat. We say that our party that will give them second chance. They represented in a being in power, Solomon Josh, and they are causing people for no reason. As Scarlet Great and what people never even expected to. Oh God. Jesus Christ. I don't even know how to really say this. Our CDC we know. Like United Party against us and they saw it to the very, very end that we came down. Are you killing me? I can't even get out of my apartment. I cannot even get out of my apartment. 3 fucking days in a row, you get any idea to know what's going on? The people in this government were fucking mean to the Liberian people. Tell me.
CEO stand coming with the spoon, and your boy Friday the Southern Band. Charges on the beat.
To the spoon to get your information. To the spoon to be part of our discussion. Spoon television. Spoon radio station.
Spoon gonna tell you what is happening in life.
Okay, so again, I want to say welcome to you folks. Welcome to another edition of the program, The Late Night Show, The Late Night Politics on Spoon. We are here live on Spoon 107.5 FM. We are live on Fabric 101.1 FM. We are live on Super 95.5 FM and other frequencies across the country. Thanks to all of you who always make up time to be here with us on the show. As usual, the late night show is where we get to talk about trending national issues. And my name is Nelson Colette. I want to say thanks to you for joining us tonight. We're live as well on Super TV, Fabric TV, and Spoon TV on Facebook. And on YouTube, we are there at Spoon Talk Live. Thanks again for joining us tonight. So we're going to move straight in. I have... the folks already here. We're gonna move in to kickstart our conversation tonight on the late night show. Again, thanks to all of you for joining us. Our co-moderator Moba Zoka is under the weather, so he wouldn't be able to join us tonight. But it's a good thing that we're here, and I want to say thanks to all of you for joining us. Let me bring in Jilayu Cindy. Sandy, welcome. Thanks for joining us tonight.
Nelson, good morning to you.
Yeah, it's good to have you on. The webcam or whatever you're using is doing you well.
Yeah, yeah, yes. It's clean tonight.
Very clean, very clean.
How you
Unless,
doing?
yeah, it's good to be here.
Yeah.
Let me bring in Alfred Konowa. Alfred, thanks for joining us tonight. You are muted.
Well, good evening, Brother Nelson. Good evening. It's good to be here tonight.
Okay.
How you doing, Sandy?
I'm all right, man. How you doing, Alfred?
Doing good.
That's good.
Okay, so
For us, we honor the weather now. The snow is already has already touched down. So when you see what India gonna close down, you will know that's it, not easy. Also like ice.
so that not fat you fat so that plenty clothes you double so. That not fat you fat that
No,
plenty
that's
clothes.
not
And
that
then
big
go home.
yeah.
Yeah, but it's a good thing to be here tonight, and I'm sure we're gonna have a good show. Let me share the link with some of our guys, man. Let me post the link in the comment section. I see Officer Hans Johnson is coming on. The rest of the folks, the female, will join us as well. But let me post the link in the comment section. Let's have some guys joining us tonight. It's been a while since we did that. Um, so the link is there in the comment section. You guys can join us. You guys can join us. Let's have a great show tonight. And yeah, so many things happening in the country. But Cindy, what's on your mind, man? What is that issue on your mind? Let's start with that since we're not many here tonight. Uh, what's on your mind? Let's talk about that a little.
Yeah, so I mean, one of the trending issues or topic right now in the country is the upcoming elections of the leaders of the House of Representatives.
Mhm.
And I know Spoon was all on it today, and it's an important thing. I know Liberians outside of the legislature that do not have direct voting influence or power to
Yeah.
elect the leaders of the house, but we still can speak to these issues, and hopefully the leaders in the house, I mean those in the house, our elected representatives, can hear us out. So really what on my mind is that I'm hoping that the house will make a really good decision to elect a speaker and a deputy speaker that will truly represent the Liberian people, that will stand strong to um, even the upcoming administration, right?
Mhm.
Not just to agree on everything, especially those that are not in favor of the Liberian people. Be firm, address what is not in it for the Liberian people, and let us try to change how the House and the Senate is ran in Liberia. Let's improve it. And that improvement comes with better leadership. So I'm looking forward to the House making a decision that will really take the House in a better direction than where we have it now.
Mm.
That's on my mind.
Wow, and that's a very important one. And I like the aspect where you took off from um the role of the citizens that ordinary Liberians do not have direct say in what happens there with respect to voting and all of that. But
Mhm.
again, all of those people represent that they elect representatives from at those different district levels, and the representatives are there, to seek the interests of the people, representing the interests of the people, and it's very important
Yeah.
that those people do what they do in the interest. But again, when the representatives get elected, they go at the house of sorry, oh wow, this thing here. When those representatives get there at the House of Representatives, it's a whole different case. Sandy, there are too many things that will play out with respect to these different electoral processes, especially now that we have the battle coming on for the speakership. Those lawmakers will be voting on different lines. Some based on the connections they have with those individuals, some based on the track records of the different individuals that have been presented or have expressed interest.
Mm,
Yeah, and some will be voting based on how well those different lawmakers will be lobbying with them, will be
mm,
lobbying. So there are different lines that they will be voting on. It's important that Liberians themselves express their views on those issues as well. So you take, for example, we have a few of them. We have a few lawmakers whose names have surfaced,
Mhm.
and they are campaigning with all, just everything within them. You have the likes of um, Representative Fonati Kofa. You have Representative Richard Nagwe Kun. And who else? What's the next name? You know, but yeah, all these individuals are there. Their names have surfaced, and the process is on. But Cindy, it's good you brought this up.
Mhm.
As someone who have been following that, Abia, we're gonna come to you. Sorry, Alfred, we're gonna come to you shortly. But as someone who have been following the body politics, putting these individuals on the line, what do you think?
So you provide a name like Funati Kofa,
Yeah,
Tomo Fala,
yeah.
and there was one person named I didn't catch.
Representative Richard
Richard,
Nagwe of
yeah,
District
from
11.
the UP.
Yeah.
Look, to be honest with you, I know of two, meaning
Okay.
Richard Kuhn is not a name that I'm deeply familiar with.
Okay.
I don't want to speak to him without knowing much about him. But let me speak of Lantin Kofa and Fala.
Hmm.
Kofa has been what the deputy speaker,
Yeah.
and Fala on the other hand has been a chair
Which
on
means in finance.
which means in finance.
Hmm.
What I would say really is
Hmm.
that I would hope that their colleagues will look at their track records. What
Hmm.
has Kofa done as a deputy speaker over the years? What policy has he implemented? What law has he brought forth? How has Kofa protected the interests of the Liberian people in his capacity as a
Okay.
deputy speaker and as a representative? We
Hmm.
can say the same to Farah. Farah left his district and went to Lofa. What were the underlying issues that took him from the district in Mosorado to Lofa? Apart from that, we can see that for Fala, it has been mostly self-glorification. This guy has built university for himself that is not free. This guy has enriched himself. They
Hmm.
call him the bank of the CDC. How has the bank of the CDC helped the Liberian people in terms of passing laws, policies, and representing the interests of the people? So those are things that the lawmakers in the House should be looking at. But here is where my worry is.
Yeah.
There are a lot of newly elected representatives coming in. A lot of them coming in.
Hmm.
Most of whom are coming in with nothing financially.
Yeah.
I mean, some of them coming from nowhere in terms of finances. They can be easily influenced by money, by people like Kofa, by people like Fala. Fala, we know that his strength has been the distribution of cash. We know, we have seen picture of this guy sharing money. So I will hope that those guys, or those new folks that are coming in,
Hmm.
were elected to serve the interests of the people. And I will hope that they will not be manipulated by or influenced by some cash. Elect folks that have some track records to represent us as a country. Elect someone first who is knowledgeable of the roles and responsibility of a speaker.
Hmm.
Elect someone that will hold the House of Representatives to a very high esteem, where our house will be respected again. I don't see that in Farah. I will be honest. Let me do a process of elimination. Some
Okay.
of Farah would not be your
So
choice.
of the three names, now you're doing a process of elimination.
Yeah, let me do a
Uh,
process
uh,
of elimination.
But you said you're not in a position to speak to one
No, not
because
to Kun.
yeah, Richard Kuhn,
No,
because you don't know much about him,
no.
but you can speak to Fonanti Kofa and that of Thomas Fala.
So quite frankly, if the debate is between those two,
Mm-hmm.
Fala would not be my choice.
Mm.
Fala would not
Okay.
be my choice. I don't think Fala have the skills. I don't think he have the uh, 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 that moral integrity to hold a house to a very high extent. And somebody just put it in a chat room. Musa Belete is also coming up.
Oh yeah, one of the names as well.
Belete.
Sandy, don't waste my time, man. What the Billy were? Billy is a joke. I don't even know why people have to vote people like Billy. I'm telling you.
So even if we put Belete in the race, then I have to speak to the three, Belete, Fala, and Fulanti Kofa. I will eliminate Belete and Fala very easily. So
Okay.
I will stop there for now.
Okay. Okay. Let me welcome Officer Hans Johnson. Welcome to the show. It's good to have you on tonight.
Hey, Nelson. Hey, everybody. Excuse the tone of my voice.
You honor the weather?
It's the time of the year. Not ready. Just the cold, you know.
I
But
already told him.
I got a tea now, you know. I mean, tea.
Yeah, so yeah, it's good to have you. But Alfred, let's hear from you. Let's do this, then we'll move to our actual talking point.
Yeah, thank you. What is on my mind actually has to do with the statement made by Senator-elect Amara Coney. That is all on social media, and people are just flagging it everywhere you pass, you see it. So it raised serious concern to me, and I think it's important that we talk about it.
So someone listening to you now may want to know the particular statement that you want to talk about.
Where he said 20 individuals from the war room of the Unity Party was awarded scholarship by a donor.
Yeah.
And I think it's disturbing because this is the same mistake that the George Weah government made when it came into power. There was no structure in place in terms of communication. Everybody was talking. You find Jefferson Coaching having press conference on making major political statement. You find Akaras Gray on the other hand making major political statement. We don't want that in the Joseph Yuma Boaka-led government. We don't want that. And I also like to say this. Amara Coney and the likes of the people over there, we begging you, please, nobody should bamboozle the papi. Nobody should think that you're own the papi. You respect yourself and you stop what you're starting. That nonsense that you did by coming out and putting and just
Alfred. Let's be moderate with our choice of words.
Okay, let me take it back. All right, I'll take it back. But seriously, on a serious note, we want a very serious government that is structured. We don't want a government like the one we have in the past, where to the extent where the president failed to even speak to the nation for 6 years. When he wanted to us, he will go and make pre-recording and can't put on the radio. We don't want that. We want a government that is structured. So if you have something, for example, that thing should not even have come out in the public. He's not supposed to go on social media and put it there. If somebody say, oh yeah, because of the good what you did, we want to help you so that next time you can have professional people in the system that will be able to help to boost our electoral process. That has something for you to come on the radio and on social media and start talking. Because this is the same thing we bash at Joey. We say Joey make a government like Cool County. Everybody from the southeast. So if you have opportunities, somebody giving opportunities, for example, to the Unity Party, keep it in the Unity Party. You don't have to bring it on social media and be asking them to say you the bar, and they call it expert in the play now, because you do small work for the Liberian people, so you feel that you now win yourself gold medal. We don't want that in this government. We don't want that. You are an elected senator. Your worry now should be how you were scrutinize Joseph Yuma Boaga first budget that he will present to the Liberian people, because That is why he's going to work with to be able to deliver on all the promises that he has made to the people. Whether we're talking about agriculture, whether we're talking about roads, whether we're talking about good education, everything will be spelled out in the budget. And as someone who has incredible knowledge when it comes to the data, we want you to go back in the house and begin putting your foot down to understand how they work, the horse work, because you are a freshman. You have not been in a horse before. You don't even know how the horse work. You don't know. And to be here and you being the executive at the same time you in the House of Senate, you will not be doing well for the poor of Babalu County. So, Amara, if you're listening to this interview tonight, please go back in your shell and go back and start understanding how the Senate works.
You're making a very important point, Alfred. And this is something we intend highlighting as well. But now, let me say this. Mr. Amara Kone made this post, right? Maybe I should highlight this thing here. I don't want to highlight the Akara's gray portion of it because that's another aspect of it we will handle as well. But this is the post he made. This is the post he made. Let me get it coming up very quick. Then we can move on to that onto the other aspect of it. Okay, so I think I have it here now. I wanted to be up while we're talking about this thing. I wanted to
so I was in the air and you did not let me to learn. So let me learn my thought real quickly. So my brother Hans can contribute. So for me it's disturbing. It's very disturbing. We cannot bash at
okay, so Alfred, let's do this. This is the post he made, right?
Yes.
20 graduate studies scholarship for young professional members of the UP Alliance Situation Room only to study abroad are offered by a donor.
Right.
Quality education matters in preparing principled leaders and building a credible state. Well, he did not state the name of the donors, but he did say what is coming from the donors.
Let me tell you
what is it coming? Scholarship.
Let me tell you
what is it intended for? To build the capacity of those young people. Why is this important? Because they want to have they want to prepare principal leaders, people who can be people who have the capacity to be able to serve their country. Now, if you go back to what we saw in 2018, now you guys are going to express your views on this because this was also captured to be a part of our talking point here for tonight. But yes, it's a good thing that you equally touched on that in the what's on your mind. But if you go back to 2018, when the CDC came to power, what we did see was a lot of young people being employed. My own friend and brother, Avin Weah, became an assistant minister. Eddie Terewali, and so many of them got into top governmental positions, and they started to serve their country from there.
Someone were not prepared.
But at this point,
someone were not prepared.
Yeah, you can say that. You can say that, Alfred. Yes, some of them needed to be further pruned, or they need further preparation or whatever. But yes, they did get appointments in different positions to serve. But the difference between that government and this government, especially talking about the similar timing, is that in that government, the young people were given the opportunity to serve, assistant minister, and so. But this one, Mr. Amara Kone is saying that they are taking up the time. They are starting up this whole thing by preparing the young people. Alfred, do you see anything wrong with this particular one here?
No,
because we're going to get to the other aspect. There's a reaction from Minister Representative Gray that I also want to highlight. But what do you think is wrong with this particular one?
What wrong with the post is that when you begin a government in this fashion, what you are doing is that you are creating a segregated system.
Mhm.
We say we want to reconcile the country. We say we
Yeah.
want Joseph Boakai to be the leader for the country. You listen to President-elect Boakai, he say there is no south, there is no north, there is no east, there is no
Mhm.
west, right? So,
Mhm.
for example, my concern to the whole thing here was Senator-elect Amara Kone had no business of taking this information from the war room and bringing it on social media. It was not channeled the right way. It was
Okay.
not channeled the right way. You have the Ministry of Youth and Sports, right? Now,
Mhm.
so for example, let's say China. China is giving 20 individuals, young Liberians, opportunity to go and follow their study. And they look up to the Unity Party to be able to produce that, right? You could channel this through the Ministry of Youth and Sport, and
Mhm.
that the announcement being made that these young people will be selected based on their qualification, all right? And they'll be taken from the country and they'll be sent to China or whatever country that was the donor for their studies. For to come and tell a people say, oh, one donor say, monte, une United Party people, une United Party people. That
The
concerns me.
situation room only. Now, but Alfred, you
Man,
gotta take
for
into
that situation,
consideration here.
une the
You gotta
United
take
Party
into
people only.
consideration
It
here.
concerns
Yeah,
me.
you gotta
That
take
was
into
wrong.
consideration here. George, let me welcome you to the show. You gotta take into consideration here that
Thank you, Nelson.
these people that are being mentioned here are the ones who worked tirelessly in that situation room.
I'm not saying that these
So,
people don't
yeah,
have. Look,
yeah.
Nelson.
So no, I'm coming. I'm coming a bit, Alfred.
Okay.
These people work tirelessly day and night, morning, noon. I mean, in that situation room, they contributed immensely towards the victory that the Unity Party got. All right. Um, this here could just be uh, a way of appreciating them or a way of rewarding them, since in fact some of them need their capacity to be built. Now I get the point where you're coming from, that the senator-elect Amara Kone should not be the one making this particular post. But again, that's another aspect of it. But Cindy, I saw your hand up. You wanted to come in? You are muted.
Oh, I was talking to myself, like always. Look, I want to buttress Alfred. I support, I agree with Alfred on this. Mr. Senator-elect Amara Conan, I don't want to take communication from him, but I think he has been making mistake lately when it comes to the communication that he's releasing to the public. The first one we addressed the last time has to do with what happened at the headquarters there, and he came out. Sometimes as a leader, you just have to hold back a little bit. Certain information, no matter how timely, may not suit the ears of those who hear them. Okay? So you have to be careful as what you put out. There are a lot of questions that will come with this. Who's giving these scholarships? Who's giving these, awards or whatever it is for these people, 20 people to go and learn? It's a good news for Liberia. It's a good news that young men and women will have the opportunity to build on their data analysis skill. But who gave this scholarship? And why are you only directing these to the Unity Party folks? We know that folks that were in the war room with him support the Unity Party. If this is an individualized project, perhaps his friends gave it to him, Amara Kone. His friends gave it to him. He is still a leader in the country. He represents not only folks that work with him to support the Unity Party. He actually represents a county. And he represents Liberia. Why not open this up to all Liberians?
No, but
in your
again,
interview process,
what if based on the work that those young people did, the donor decided to reward them?
Okay. I want to say my scholarship too. Say we can take our sleepless time and we run our mouth. We take our money. We support Joe Bugger. Our father, I think I'll be putting together to support Joe Bugger. Let us send scholarship for us here too. We needed to because we
No, no,
supposed to.
but everyone can get the scholarship at
No,
the same
but
time. But anyway, let's move on. Let's move on.
So here's the thing.
you are insinuating
Let's hear
that.
from Hans. Hans,
Let
let's
me
hear.
let me end now. Let me end. Let me end.
So
What I will ask, the senator elect to do is be clear. Be clear. Because like you said, people in the opposition or soon to be opposition are pointing to this now. This could go bad on the UP. It's that you're being selected. Be clear. Who gave this scholarship? Did somebody recognize the work of those men and women in the war room and say, okay, I put my hand up. I gave you guys in the war room 20 scholarship. Or was it an open scholarship that was given to
Okay.
Liberia through Amara Kone, and now
Thank
you are
you.
limiting it to just those folks in the war room?
Thank
Be
you.
clear with your communication.
Let's hear from Hans.
In
Hans,
fact, he
go
should
ahead.
not be the one making those announcements. He should not be the one doing that.
so
Hans, go ahead.
what is on my mind today? What's trending? Nelson, been following the situation near neighboring Sierra Leone, where supposedly it haven't been declared or clarified if it was a failed coup d'etat, but it was a coup d'etat attempt on the president. It actually didn't leave the military barracks, so that's a good thing. And the reason why we have to monitor Sierra Leone is important because that's our next door neighbor, neighbor, young democracy. We ourselves going through a young democracy. So far, this is the greatest time in our lives where we have seen it a peaceful election to some extent. No election is has been really peaceful anywhere in the world for that matter. There's been protests, there's been demonstration, there's been deaths here and there, and we have seen it. So, with all that is being said, Sunday morning we woke up to a barrage of gunfire coming from Sierra Leone through AP, Associated Press, BBC, and what have you. Luckily, they didn't reach the presidential palace, as I would say, because those things then Liberia would have been in like, whoa, what's going on? We saw in Guinea, Guinea, uh, what's the other country name? Burkina Faso, neighboring countries. So it's been scary. So I would like to take this time to touch on a few issues that's trending. Also, we should say thanks for these past elections to our national security forces in Liberia, the military, the AFL, Force for Good, the Liberian National Police, the joint security staff for that matter. I know we have had some little differences there. We've been beating on them both pro and con, pro unity party, anti unity party, CDC, everybody been. But the thing that struck me when I didn't see it, they said the president is out of the country. When we have a situation in neighboring Sierra Leone that is like very, very, very vital to our national security. Sierra Leone border is currently closed. We should have the president in Liberia, maybe. In fact, president can work from anywhere for that matter. We appreciate that. But I think at this time we should this one of the time the president should be in Liberia having his joint security staff meetings. Preparing your people because mutiny can happen anywhere for that matter. Disgruntled armed men within the security sector can get up and have a mutiny and walk on a happy. The country is still on a path of changing power, and at this time, boom, right in the middle of it, Sierra Leone go through a attempted failed coup d'etat. So things that those guys didn't succeed, I would say that, regardless of how divisive Manabio election was, we heard that it was not fair, it was not okay. We just had ours. It was a little tough there, but we want to say thank you to our military forces and our joint security forces for keeping the peace and holding down the election peacefully. With all that we heard and all that happened, our military stayed in the barracks, our Liberian National Police picked up the mantle and stood up against a little bit of protest here and there. We heard all kinds of things, but I want to use the medium to say thank you, AFL, thank you, LMP, thank you, Immigration, thank you to all our gallant men and women at the joint security staff that held it together. And I hope Mr. President is wherever he is in constant contact with our national security because it bothers me a lot coming from neighboring Sierra Leone. I will hold it there for now, and later on, I will touch back on the Amara Corner and the Speaker of the House thing. But Sierra Leone been on my mind, and I hope all goes well. And I pray and hope President Manabio be able to hold the military together, to keep the
Thank you.
peace.
Thank you. Josh. Yeah, we'll come to you, Alfred. Let's hear from Josh. What's in your
Yeah,
mind?
look, can you guys hear me?
Yeah.
Thank you. So look, I'm a little bit flabbergasted. I was to use that term with Alfred and Sandy's approach to this issue with the scholarship that are being awarded to these guys from the United Party war room. I think in pursuit of transparency is the right thing to do. Whether he should be the one doing it or not, I think is the right thing to do. Letting our people know who's getting rewarded for what, and so that we can know, you know, who is also involved in rewarding these people. Because if a donor comes to Liberia and want to get, Horace, just give me a second.
Okay.
Yeah, so sure, and want to get involved in our politics by rewarding our politicians with things. Those we can look at this thing as robbery. You know what I mean? Because no donor wants to come to Liberia and give people free scholarship for nothing. That's something they want. This is how corruption starts. So we want to know who's rewarding these people. Because if you our constitution does not allow for outsider to melt in our politics. So Amara coming up, I think it's a plus for transparency. I think people should commend him instead of bashing him because we deserve to know as Liberians who is melting in our politics, who's funding. It could be that person also funded this whole election for the UP, and he's now congratulating them after funding the elections, which is illegal in our system. And this could also be looked at through the courts as well to see why is this person supporting these people from outside Liberia, calling themselves donors and doing all these things. Why? It's illegal in our system. So look, I want to commend Emma for coming. Whether it's a mistake that he done this, but I know that God beating them so they will come out and will know what is going on because we deserve to know as Liberians who is murdering our politics. God is going to expose these people because they lie too much to win this election, and it is time for us to know exactly, where the money came from, also to establish everything that they established to bring people out of the country. No, I don't. There should be somebody funding this thing, and that person is not funding it for no reason. They are funding for a reason. There's something they want. I don't want our minerals or something that they want. So we want to know.
No,
This
but
is
but but Josh,
influence
Josh,
to,
this
to
thing
selling our
at this
mountain,
point,
selling our mountain in
as it
Local County.
stands,
These are the
it
things that
stands,
we need to
Josh,
look at.
this thing is open. All right. Are you trying to jump the gun here to say, maybe the person or the donor who's doing this, they expect to get something back or so? But because the senator elect did not say who this donor is,
Yeah.
but he did say that the scholarship is coming from a donor.
Hmm.
And you want to also look at the intent. He says this is intended to build the capacity of these young people to
Yeah.
prepare them. All right.
Yeah.
So Josh,
Yeah.
is there anything wrong with our international partners or donors coming in to give scholarship to build the capacity of young people before getting them into national leadership?
Nelson, it is clear, crystal clear, that if the international community wants to help Liberia, there is a channel in which they can funnel that money to come to the country. They will not give it to United Party. No international organization gave CDC money to the party, money for winning the elections and for the government. No. Anything that you want to give to our country has to come to the central bank, has to come into our coffers. We have to allocate it to where we want to allocate it. So if something goes directly to the United Party, to their war room, and appreciating them for doing this, and we want to know who that person is because that could be understood differently. It could be a Liberian, it could be Stanton who is doing this. We don't know, but we want to know the person because we deserve to know. Because if you are influencing our elections, we want to know what you stand to gain. So it's something that that deserves a lot of investigations because this could be something else or it could be nothing. But we want to know. That's what transparency starts, and we want to hold this government accountable for the onset of everything. We want to make sure that the right thing is done by our people for our people. by this government. So we want
Okay.
to thank Amara for coming up with this, and we hope that he's going to come up with more because we want to know exactly what is transpiring. And then to go to what is happening in Sierra Leone, just quickly, it's a sister nation, and we are very in solidarity with them. We want to hope that what is happening there will come to an end very soon, and that that people will live in peace because we don't want people flowing into Liberia again, and then will cause a lot of hardship on our people because our food there is little. Then you have another group of people coming. When stranger come in your house, what can happen? The children can't enjoy the food anymore. So we want to make sure that they can stay in their own place, and that crisis can be put to an end. Thank you.
Okay. So yeah. Alfred, I see you want to come
Only who
in.
we worry about, Josh.
Yeah. Thank you, Nelson.
Yes.
The first thing we want to establish here is that um, George, you need to tell us exactly the allegedly $50 million that your party used to run election. You should be demanding them to publish how they raise that money and how they use that money. That way, you need to be telling us now. Now, scholarship is not necessarily giving money to government. And Mr. Amar Cornell was very clear. He said scholarship. He not say money given to a unity party. So don't come talk about corruption yet. What we are saying to you here is he is not the right man to make that announcement. If somebody comes to the party to say, oh yeah, we want to help your members to improve their capacity, it should be done by the hierarchy of the party. You have the
Okay.
person in the party, you
So
have the
I want
party
us to take a
chairman,
look at this.
you have
folks.
the wait, let me end, my brother.
Mhm.
All right. So you have the party chairman there. You have the folks there that are very effective in order to ensure that those scholarships that he talked about can be given to deserving individuals. But to come on the public and make it look like you awarding people for unity party people is wrong. We want to bring our country together. So any opportunity that comes, it should be open for everybody. That's the point we are
Now,
making.
guys, I want to hear from you. What do you make of this response? Now, following what the senator-elect Amara Connor wrote, then the defeated lawmaker of District 8, Representative Moses Akaras Gray, took onto his social media to read these comments. He says, when I said politics is interest, even my own said I was too radical. But see what the international donor money for scholarship is being spent on, man. Oh, but Amber Conan as minister did the same when millions of taxpayers' money was spent to educate UP zealots. Even one of them that went to school in the U.S., England, uh, even some of them that went in the U.S. To school in the U.S., England, etc., got over 50K annually, blah 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 blah. But and then he ends up by saying, "All wine in new bottle." What do you make of the reaction here from Representative Gray?
Let me jump
Is
on that
he
one.
is he in a better position?
Look,
Is he does this response deserve any sort of attention? Is it coming from a place of love for country, or is it just the regular political statements and stuff like that goes on?
Akara then that people are used to Zekwe and Munya. They may get him back in his opposition, way. So anything somebody read, he want and respond to it to show that he get a base. Akara need to shut up and go and sit down. You need to shut up and go and sit down. You said people are giving people 50,000 for scholarship. When was the last time Akara came and tell us, in fact, they can't even do budget performance report. Then you can tell us if somebody was giving scholarship to somebody for 50,000 and went to school in England and the United States. When was the last time on Akara's grade that he ever proposed on the first floor and demanded the government to produce budget performance report so that we can know how this money was spent? Then you can't because Kamara King also to say we're giving post scholarship, then you can't be talking. Let him go sit down. After that, again, go with me. Let him go sit down and show him up. We're talking about serious thing here. Let him go sit down.
I'm afraid you have to be a bit
My man.
be too raw about this thing, man. Let's hear from Sandy. Sandy, what's your take on that response from Representative Gray?
So, Alfred, my brother, let me disagree a little bit.
Mhm.
Why it is true, I see the politics in Gray response. I do
Mhm.
see the politics. But then Gray also says similar thing to what you myself said initially, earlier.
Exactly.
No, but you are telling the man to go do a booga dancing somewhere. You
Yeah, let me go to Buga dancing, my brother. Because
Gray,
they man,
Gray,
look at the last statement, the man say, oh, one in new bottle. What he's saying over there is that
Alfred, let the
see
man
these
land
Afro
so some of
politicians
us can
around,
talk on that issue.
coming around.
yeah.
That's
So
what he's saying.
that the politics inside now, that the small politics inside.
Mhm.
But we are speaking to Gray says similar thing to what we said. And I said it in my initial conversation here that people will start to point fingers. This is a communication problem. If you are not clear with your message, people will question the intent, the contents of your
Yeah.
message. Mr. Kamara was not, Corner was not clear. He didn't tell us where this scholarship coming from, whether they are personalized scholarship that was given to him, and then he is directing it to the people that help him win this victory, or if it's coming from integrate now coin the thing as international scholarship. Is there someone somewhere is giving scholarship now? And then if someone is giving scholarship, what is their intention? What do they want to get out of it? So that this is where clear communication is important. This is where it's important. So you can't be so mad at Gray. Gray has some political lining. I mean, on a tune. You can see it. But he also is addressing, asking the question that some of us are asking.
Yeah, and it's a great thing there. I mean, let me say welcome to the show. But Sandy, do you see this response as something that's coming from a patriotic standpoint, someone who has love for country, or is it politically motivated? What Representative Gray wrote, is he saying it because he loves Liberia, because he wants our resources to be directed towards the very good intention to benefit everyone, or is he saying it because he's in a state of defeat right now?
Well, look, we can see both. And then some of my friends there would not like me tonight, but I can see a little bit of both. But I see politics. I see politics. This is what we're going to see for the next 6 years. Great, they're going to say everything. Even if they see a beautiful monkey, they will say that bamboo. But also,
Mhm.
Gray is asking some relevant questions. So we can point that as politics, but some of those things may be out of good intent.
Hmm.
If this scholarship were coming from someone, some organization, some individual, I would sideline with Gray and say, open it up to all Liberians. In your interview process, you may select maybe a few more of those that were in the war room with you. But then give it to maybe John Flomoson out of Nova County, who was not in the war room, but he also want to build his capacity.
Thank you, Sandy. Thanks a lot. Yeah, Hans, you want to come in? I want us to zero
Sure.
in on this and go to our actual talking point.
Yeah, so let me just chime in there real quickly. That's some of the reason we're saying. Sorry, I had a call. We're saying that they should manage the communication process here within a unity party because this is the second time, you know, former minister and senator elect has spoken. It's sometimes even you have good intentions, but when you jump those information out there. You're still in a transitional phase, and I think certain that it was too early to bring out certain thing. If anything was to come out like that, let it come from the spokesman of the party. That's all. I personally have the issue with be genuine, be transparent. Let one person speak for the political party because again, it's the second time some issue has happened. So for and tiptoeing over to what former Representative Gray is talking about, and Josh is here also talking about we want to know, we want to know. Look, y'all in power for 6 years. What transparency you guys provided to Liberian people to show that corruption was not your A game? They beat your party because of the very thing we're talking about. American said here, which is nothing corrupt about that. He just was excited. What are that his own money? What are that his friend? whether that somebody else to need to do nothing with, is their way of giving thanks to the situation room people. My thing I'm saying here is let the communication come through. They have a communication director within a unity party currently. There's still a
Okay.
political party that they can take over on January. But Akaris Gray have no moral to come and sit there and talk about corruption, because when they say
Thank you.
corruption, a captain, he is one of those. So you come
Thank you.
here going through your defeat feelings and want to talk. He shouldn't be saying nothing right now.
Thank you. Um, Amy, you okay? Josh, okay. Let's hear from Josh, and Amy will go.
Yeah, thank you, Nelson. I thought you wouldn't recognize me. So look,
No, but you're on the
uh,
show, Josh. I will obviously recognize you.
it's okay. So look, I think Afro is still in his campaign mode, and we need to move away from campaigning now. It is over. You won. We agree. We accept. You now got to be patriotic and speak to the truth of the matter, and not, try to side with people. If we want to build a good Liberia, we want to build a country where everyone will have equal opportunities, regardless of which party you support. That's what we should gear for. And if you won this election, I think that's what the Liberian people made you to win, because they thought the opportunities in Liberia were now equally shared amongst people. So if Haynes comes up here and want to compare CDC lost. Forget about CDC now. Let's speak to the issues now that are happening. And if that would be the case, then I don't want to be hearing what did you do when you were there. No, you guys say you were better, you could do it better. That's what the Liberian people elected you against us. So forget about what CDC did, what CDC did not do. Do the right thing now by the people, because if you don't do it in 2029, you'll be just as disgraced as the CDC is right now. That's what I wanted to say. And after you can go up and down, say, this person is. I think Akara's grades response was very
I
relevant.
mean, I don't want brought it in your own.
While I do
I
not
don't want brought
agree,
it in your don't tell
After,
me.
let's have Josh to conclude.
that it should be politicized, but I think he rightfully placed it. That look, Mo Ali went on scholarship doing Eddie Jones Sarita. She supported him. That was the only, even though he went on scholarship, he did not complete it. He said the Liberian people were suffering, so he got to come back to rescue them or to come and talk for them. He did not finish it. He lavished all the money in America and came back without bringing a degree. But Mo Ali brought a degree, and more other guys, Beefsteak. I know most of these guys. They went to the United Party, they went to school, and that's one of the things I criticize my own government for, because I think we should have prioritized, young civilians to go on this scholarship, because that's what the United Party did. Now they got more people with masters in the country than the CDC. I really disagree with what they approach, because what the
Thank
CDC
you.
government did was to send doctors to go specialize.
Thank
Doctors who are not sedation, were not anybody. They sent them to go specialize, and they spent all the money on these people, sending doctors, sending technicians, to go and learn instead of prioritizing their own. So I think
thank you.
I support what he said. Thank you.
Thank you, Josh. Thanks a lot. Let's hear from you. Amy.
Nothing. I hope I'll get more time like that if I want to interject. Well, anyways, like speaking on this topic, I don't see anything wrong with somebody seeing a group of people doing something and they got inspired and think that they need to advance in it. I don't see anything wrong with that and wanting to give them scholarship for that. And I don't know when someone ever gives scholarship and they wanted something in return. I don't know that either. Yes, communication wise, maybe it is wrong coming from the senator elect. I think he been a little keyboard happy uh to run and be keyed and stuff to post.
Did he
We
say
should
keep all happy?
yeah, keyboard happy to be testing and posting. Yeah. He should let the rep people do the communication. But if somebody if it was somebody like he know that seeing those people doing something and say, oh, I saw what those people did and I want to give them scholarship to go and advance themselves. I don't see anything. Maybe the way he worded the communication That what makes it bad. You be on it. And but if you just say, oh, those people I was working with, I don't see anything wrong with it. And for us to come here, people like Gray and my brother George, I like this passion in George, about accountability. I hope we would have had the same passion. And now CDC is still in power. We talk about 50 million being spent on a campaign. We talk about holding auditing. He calling it a witch hunt. But all of a sudden, George want to be transparent about a post, about a scholarship, about a giving. Wow. What is this? A double standard or politics? Like you said, the campaign is over. You can't even admit you calling audit. Audit, though, that's supposed to be more transparent to the people of Liberia to know what the government is leaving did with all this money and all the debt that it got us in, how they spend these money. So the country will know. I think this is the biggest one that we need to be open and transparent with. We are in the other camp, CDC calling it witch hunt. Then I mean, what he said may be something, but he's not the person to say it. That's politics he playing. So I don't even give people that Kara's grit and credence.
So you think are you saying that his response is not coming from a place of patriotism, but rather politics?
Yeah, frustration for losing,
hypocrisy.
Politics. That
it's pure mediocre. It's pure mediocre.
And coming from people like that, they come on Liberia, like I said. People like George, you're entitled to have questions, but if you can't let the transparency and openness go across the board, you only looking at one side, then it's become questionable. That's my own problem. It's not a problem for George to have questions with the wording of MR posts or wanting to know more. Nothing wrong with that. But if you're talking about transparency and they're talking about all the things you're calling a witch hunt, then I have a problem. Then I think it's politics that you're playing. You're not genuine, you're sincere about your openness and transparency.
Thank you.
Hey man, I think you got it wrong. I'm not against audit. I'm not. I just said it should be done according to the law. That's what I've always said. So please don't misquote me. I'm still alive.
Okay, so yeah, you stay alive. We have to move on now.
You still alive. What I heard, it wasn't anything. Nobody told you they were doing audit against the law. They said they were auditing the outgoing government to know what was done, how they spend these donors' funds and everything. It had nothing to do with witch hunt. And you talk about when somebody want to appraise somebody at home, it's a witch hunt. So that is not against the law.
Thank you, Josh. We have to.
You can't even give me time. See what I meant? Josh spoke. He wanted to interject. Nelson, you gave him almost 3 minutes to do that. But just me opening my mouth. Thank you. Thank you too, Nelson.
No, I just afforded you the time. Thank you very much.
Do you want more of what? Now?
This is President George Weah here. I want us to watch this video.
Those that came to me at the last minute time, I asked them one question. And they test me. Mr. President, you couldn't see you, I want to vote. I said the first thing you should have done, protect your vote. That was the security. I was not a coup watcher. I paid a coup watcher to sell our polling papers. How can a coup watcher refuse to send the polling papers? Because the polling depend on the right. So the coup watcher is that. Yeah, because sometimes we forget to sacrifice. I sacrificed my entire life. I left my family alone to make sure that every Liberian is already account for what they do. I sacrificed from one plane from small plane to big plane to a middle-sized plane to come here to play for you. On the day that you sabotage your own game, when you're happy, and my money is sorted. You understand? But you got to know that these folks, the player has to be motivated. And when I ultimately give me, even the government will not motivate the team, and all the players were upset. I was the only person there telling them, no, it is for our own good, let us go do it. So when a man is on the flee, when he's not motivated, what happens? So this country, to where we are, with no war, is the best God can do for us. So we need to keep that way. We need to keep that way. We need to keep that part, we need to keep it. If we're not honest in our life, let us be honest with the peace. But all of us, we have our own choice. And sometimes we believe that, okay, I'll do this, that happens to someone. No. For those that don't want me, because they are preparing themselves for 2029, 2029 is coming. So 2029 are not there, but 2029 coming. So now they can afford the day to know who can go to 2029, because right now it's unknown. You don't know whether I will pay back or not pay back. That's the way I said, you don't know whether I will do it or not. So if you are thinking that I'm out of the sponsor, then you are wasting time. But our party is a lie. Is a lie. And we will be the close that our people depend on. You know, so for me, I don't want to be rude. You know what I'm saying? I miss, the only thing I'm going to miss that presidential gathering. But I'm not going to miss anything because I'm going to be with people. Yeah, maybe we will not go to the big dinner, but I always have this small dinner anyway. You understand? I'm going to measure that. But trust me, I can wear shoes anywhere, I can wear clothes anywhere. Even in the ghetto, I will wear what I still wearing. But I am going to be where they come. As I said, I printed our hand, I put it in the Guinness over. But you know what I put it in the Guinness over? I'm anticipating win. When the victory is going to be on my side, I'm going to wear my cap, the Guinness over. And then let's see how that's how it will approach. But we did not win. Will I wear my hat Guinness over? Yes. You know what? Because it is over. I recognize that the thing is over. But everybody thinks that there's still life in the arrangement. In your joker. So we are prepared for those people to take over. What we need to do is to go back to the drawing board and fix the deficit. The deficit is just small. We have to know who goes on our party ticket, and it's going to be final So I hope what we try to do now, we'll learn. This is a learning curve. We'll listen. Listening and listen. So I'm not quiet.
There you have it. President George.
Didn't we already talk about this?
Let's see.
No, that was on Sunday.
Let's see. He got to talk on that one too bad, brother.
That was on Sunday. That was yesterday.
You want me to go first on it one?
Yes, no. After you have to take your time. After you have to take your time. You know, this is President George Weah. President Weah touched on a whole lot. That clip is 5 minutes. He spoke about the presidency, the electoral process, life after the presidency. What is he going to base only the presidential ambience? But he will still have his dinner. He will still eat the things he's supposed to eat. Even in the ghetto, you can do what you're supposed to do. You wear clothes, you're supposed to wear. You can go anywhere. Be with the Liberian people. Well, he wanted to talk about the institution. Now, but I want to send this across. Let me not say a lot on this. Let me hear from you, all of you, your takeaway from the president's 5 minutes address. But there's a portion there where he spoke of division. One of the reasons why the CDC lost, he said, there are some party leaders who try to segregate and they try to create that situation wherein um, something that undermine the entire victory and so forth. But I want us to make the rounds on this, and maybe we should start from hands, since I see Alfred is so much interested in this. We'll skip Alfred and go to Cindy.
And this is hilarious. Listen, we had one president who was an ordained minister of the word. May his soul rest in peace. Some 40 something years ago, he was killed. President William R. Torre. His vice president was Bishop Benny Warner. Those were ordained members of the gospel. You
Yeah.
just see the people taking over the Providence Baptist Church or Ethel Baptist Church or Mount Zion Baptist Church
Mhm.
and use the pulpit every Sunday to abuse their powers. No. They
No, he's not
separate.
abusing power. The president was preaching.
Let me, oh man, let me,
No,
I just,
the
so, I
president was
just,
preaching. Oh man. Anyway, go ahead. Go ahead.
you
Does
already
he
say
call
what,
that preaching?
Lee, look, I'm going to use a phrase. First thing
Mhm.
first, I would say, first thing first, let's give fairness where it's fairness. Honestly, thank you, President We are for accepting the results. Fairness. I give it to
Mhm.
him. But the president, all I heard was I, I, narcissistic. It's a sad thing that it's a mental disorder. Mental disorder is nothing bad people should think that it is so bad. It is just a form of disorder that the president has placed himself or he is of that fact. When we used to hear that George Weah is this, George Weah that, we used to, very people that sitting here used to say, you're lying, they're jealous over, we are jealous over. But we've seen it. The president used the pulpit to spread the word of God, to talk about I. When you're in a refugee camp, to the small plane, to the big plane. Listen, this is wrong. This is totally wrong. I'm against using the pulpit. This president does not even take the executive mansion podium to address we still going to refer to this man as the president. We still have what, few more months or few more weeks to go. So he still has the power. Like I just said in my beginning,
Mhm.
our neighboring country is going through a crisis technically, right? But
Yeah.
thanks be to President Bill, the cartel, they were able to control the situation. And the president I'm hearing is not in Morovia. We did not even hear a portion of speech for the president coming out addressing this issue. We're talking Sierra Leone, a country that been through chaos, 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 chaos. They just had attempted failed coup d'etat. President Weah is out of the country, but he could use the Bible pulpit and talk about I did. You talk about 2029 when you should be talking about we're gonna work with the current government to reestablish stability and peace, different things that of importance. When we talk this thing, our friends say, "Oh, your stay in your campaign move or celebrated move." These are facts. These are things former presidents should be able to start doing. Should be able to be speaking about how your transitional process, how you, George, we are gonna be looking in the next couple of days, plowing the street of Monrovia. But you're talking about 2029 when this man not even taking his seat there, when your country is gonna be looking at to be audited and be watched by the international community. You sitting standing on the pulpit when the late president William Aratoba did not even use that pulpit to preach against his foes like that. You, President, I will stop there for now and send it back. Let other people have the chance.
Thanks
But
a
it's
lot.
wrong.
Thanks a whole lot, Josh. Let's hear from you on this. I said we're going to skip Alfred. Alfred, you are not speaking on this issue now. Josh, what do you make of the president's message, man, at the church? President George Weah is speaking, man. He's he's sending a very important message to the Liberian people. He's on the pulpit. He's preaching about 5 minutes. Just a portion of that clip we presented. What do you make of it? What's your takeaway?
Look, I think the president is very gracious in defeat. If that were been me, I'll be crying, I'll be screaming, I'll be kicking. Maybe I'll go in my closet for a week or so because no one likes defeat. But that's George Weah in his element. He plays sports. He understands that even if you are good, sometimes you lose games. And sometimes when you lose games, you go back on the drawing board to see where the mistakes were
Mhm.
and how to correct them for the next game. That's such a person that we would dearly miss as a president because that understanding can move people from 0 to 100 in the very shortest possible time because it is not just accepting defeat, it's also understanding and making sure and gracefully appreciating those who defeated you and giving them the opportunity to enjoy their victory. I think that's what President Weah did. I must commend him. And again, for when he talked about um, people conspiring against our, to result in our defeat, I took I took special attention to where he talked about um, pool washers. And he said he
Okay.
wasn't a pool washer. Yeah, he said he wasn't a pool washer. Even pool washers refused to turn over tally sheets. Um, you know, and that corroborates, the assertion that there was no war room,
So, Josh,
or the war.
you are confirming also that there was no war room. You guys didn't have any war room.
Look, there was one, but it, what is not done right is it's not done at all. Once the president confirmed that even tally sheets were not coming to the war room, it tells you that it was ineffective. So obviously, it was non-existent to to effectuate what it was actually made for. And I
So
think
no. I would divert a bit, Josh. You will conclude on this. So, if you guys had a war room, the talent sheets were not going to the war room. So, how you got these numbers that you're releasing to the public? Where these numbers were coming from? That pie chart and everything you put up. Where these numbers came from to enter that chat?
Nelson, you want to trap me with questions.
Yeah, I want to know too.
I'm not going to answer you, Amy. Sorry. Look, look,
No, but like when people want to know, Josh, yeah,
I
before
mean,
going
like
any
people
further,
listening to you answer the
you want to
question.
just cross the bridge. You want to just cross this small bridge, then you go further to the other point.
look. I think when the president said, um, "Who actually refused to turn in full sheet and full tally sheets," I don't think it meant every one of them, right? So some tally sheets came in, and from those tally sheets, the pie chart and pivot tables were all made, you know, just to produce
The
what you
man
guys
laughed
saw.
at his own
And
response. Anyway, let's go ahead, Josh.
I think it
Leave
is.
that chat and war room thing. I think.
I think, yeah, I think it's incredible
Mhm.
how um, the CDC has, come.
Okay.
CDC has come a long way, and I think the president said it, and I believe him that the CDC remains strong and going forward will remain a very consolidated force in the political sphere of this country. I think people should respect that. People should know that, and don't count us out. We are here pressing, and even more vigorous than we were before. I think if the Unity Party or whoever won this election would make that mistake to um, downplay our existence, would be at their own detriment because we are
Thanks.
here to stay and CDC plays forever. Thank you.
Thanks a lot, Alfred. You want to go? Let's hear from you. You are muted, Alfred.
I was saying, if Jesus was depending on President Weah to win souls for his kingdom, he would be a bad disciple. Because
You're not making.
as a Christian, I'm finding it hard to even understand the man theme for the day. What about our scripture? What is it that people want to leave from the building with that they can reflect on? That today we went to church and this is what the pastor preached on. Next thing I beg y'all need to find time to take your keep a call to fucking clone down that church to ask the deputy pastor then how they can feel when they have their head pastor coming on the pulpit and when they're talking about himself rather than talking about the way to heaven through Jesus Christ. He will be a bad disciple for Jesus. But let's go to the point. You know, that's one thing that President Weah talked about why that was a takeaway for me. You know, to say if anything, we should keep the peace, which is very good because we can't do anything without peace. Right? Other than that, everything the president was talking about is what we've been talking about in the last 6 years about his lack of leadership. His lack of leadership. Can you imagine the president is admitting that people he instructed to run an election process for his own can refuse to get leadership? You know the reason why? Because he never dedicated anyone. He never made any follow-up. He never had any structure in place. In fact, the money that they got to run the election, it was like people were having party, they were just celebrating all around, sharing money all around, and not even paying attention to those that they have in the field to work. So at the end of the day, they had nothing. They had nothing to show to the Liberian people to say, oh yeah, we went to election. They could not even challenge the National Election Commission because they don't have any tariff. When they're going to take tariff to go to court. If for any reason they wanted to go to court, because I heard that they said they wanted to go to court to file in an injunction. What are the reasons I'm going to go to court for? You understand? So the president saw his defeat. He saw his defeat and graciously conceded to it. Now, the next thing I want to talk about is the high level of recklessness in President Weah. We're talking about insecurity in the region. Sierra Leone is right next to. Sierra Leone and Liberia have had a bad past. And just you are in a transitional period where your next door neighbor is having a failed coup d'etat, and the president is jumping on plane to go for CAP 28, whereas he can send a representative and remain a country and coordinate the security forces to make sure that the region is stable. But he's running on plane to go to COP, only to have presidential gathering. The boy left morale. Your president left morale. So that morality, I just want to thank you to the Liberian people for taking the Bugatti dance all of our head, and we're going to have a serious government moving forward. Joey need to go say that, and he will go say that. Because the morale is not putting food on the Liberian people table. His morale is not moving the country forward. So I just want to say thank you to the Liberian people for making a sound decision. Let him go say that having a celebrity. He meant to say he's not president. They put him there. So he can do anything he want to. But thank God we made a decision already. He will sit down. Thank you.
Thanks a lot. So let's hear from you, Cindy. Cindy, go ahead.
I mean, what thing here to say again? I've finished saying everything. But here is the thing, man.
It's Sandy funny, yo.
Yeah, but
That shall I.
Look, Nelson, this is George Weah. This is the George Weah we knew from day one. This George Weah was not elected because he's a good communicator or because he knows the job. George Weah was elected because he's popular. And the people felt that, he is our own. That's why he was elected. So sometimes when the president speaks, I'm not bothered about how his message are coming across. But there are a few things that speak from here. Quite frankly, this man is relieved. President Weah is relieved. I spoke with somebody very close to the president. And the person told me, said, look, Sandy, the man was not even interested going for the second round. It was the people around him that wanted him to go. The man is relieved. He's relieved to go back to the public, I mean, private life. He released to go back to the ghetto. He said, I didn't say, he said he will still go back to the ghetto. The man, he's relieved. He's getting away from the Liberian people tension. He's not able to job. The Stanton will always say, "See better TT." So the man not able here, the Liberian people take it from him. He put it down. He about to go live his life. So look, sedition are actually angry with President Weah. I will tell you that. There are a lot of them that are very upset with this guy. That accepting defeat prior to the final result being announced, they are not happy about it. So you're hearing these blame games throughout. This is not the first time President Weah appeared on the pulpit since his defeat. I think this is the second time. And it has always been blame game. The first time he appeared on the pulpit after the defeat was blaming the ministers. Right? Oh, he didn't call name, but there was one minister that man was blaming that preaching about that day. I think that other someone come from Matthew 16 verse 5. I don't know what that is. But it was on that minister, and the minister, and now the man will not be minister. So it's a blame game. Now, this other video turned to John 16 verse 2. And the pool washer, I'm not the pool washer. So I mean, after you asked him for the verse, I'm giving it to you. Don't lie.
I think it was First Samuel, that the first sermon.
There you go. So the president, that's the kind of president. But there are some level of some level of lack of leadership, I should say. Right? Sierra Leone going through problem. No voice from Liberia, from our leader to Sierra Leone. Hopefully he has taken a phone to call his colleague in Sierra Leone. Maybe he did. But with things like this happening, you expect a leader to publicly say something. We are with you. Sierra Leone is our sister nation. Whatever happens, Sierra Leone affect us. Our president woke up, he go enjoy his last, morale, that my brother Alfred said. Because this is the last trip he's going to make before the inauguration. So the man want to go, muscle with his friend and to enjoy. But you can also see that there's some level of frustration.
But is there anything, Sandy, is there anything you expected to have heard from the president's message, especially at the church, that you didn't hear throughout this? Yeah.
This time, this transitional period, we want our president to continue to preach the peace message. And I think I heard a little bit of that. Let's keep the peace.
Okay.
Right? Avoid the blame game. Stop personalizing this thing. I will still eat. I will still go to the ghetto. I will still do the life after presidency. I will still do this. All about you. I did this. And President Weah is always good at saying this. I did this. And even so that I can be embarrassed for something toward them. They will be at a major gathering. Oh, I pay Samuel toward them tuition. I pay the other one tuition. It's all about it's all about him. Let's focus on the peace message. Let's talk about the transition period. Let's prepare Liberians to go through this transition period. Continue to take that leadership role that you have taken, accepting defeat. Stay on that path. Perhaps stay in country. A major stuff just happened where Liberians lost their life. Investigation is ongoing. Why are you jumping your plane to go? People can represent you, but this president, he can't send representative. Any small thing, the man go. In fact, he the one can call them. You'll have conference we are won't come.
Thank
you, man. Thank you, Sandy. Let's hold you there. Amy, let's hear you. Let's hear you on this. Then we'll go to the lines.
Well, I'm not going to take long. I think they said, "Oh, Judge Weah, he does look kind of relieved, and it's good that he touched on the part that if anyone was still having any kind of little hope, then they're crazy and losing their minds, because they were all mad at this guy talking about." And before that, I'd like I first said earlier, I know he done so many things that we got mad at him for, but the fact that he didn't listen to his people this time around and did the right thing is commendable, because they were really, because that was the plan, the initial plan to rig the election. And I mean, it was just God that spoke to him like, no, I'm not doing that, because they're also angry, like, oh, there was still hope. And so how do you see that, how can you see the perfect key math and think there's still hope? I don't understand it.
You mean the perfect key math?
Exactly. And I mean, 99.30 plus 89, and you think that is still hope that he should hold on to. Oh, why did he concede? And he's so selfish. He doesn't care about anybody but himself. And I'm saying here, like, okay, so George Weah conceded. The count did not stop. So if you feel like there was still hope, he didn't tell the election commission to stop the count. He conceded, but the count still continued. So what was the hope that was there? Unless you tell me what the hope was for him to steal the election and announce himself winner, that's all. But he, for him to not listen to any of those noise, he did a great thing, and we should commend him for that. But
Yes.
President Weah is not, like he said, he's not going to miss anything but the little judge he get from the presidency. He said it himself, when we all been saying that. That's the only thing President Weah enjoys. He's not going to miss anything. To say, I enjoy working for the Liberian people. None of that. It'll just be the presidential, something that, that's the only time we miss. Really? You admitted to that? I mean, I like your honesty, because I knew it. And a lot of us knew, but the solution did not want to believe it. They think he was enjoying being the president, and he was doing such a great job that he wanted to stay there. But no, he does look relieved. And everything else we are seeing, the President Weah did not speak to these things, these major things that were happening in our country. And what makes you think now that he's getting out? He wish he could pull January closer. But unfortunately, he cannot do that. He doesn't care at this point. He more like, I don't care than ever before.
That's if you give me 10 seconds.
He's out of there already. So I'm not surprised, but I think it was gonna be nice if he just said something about Chevrolet, but
yes,
I'm not surprised that he didn't, because I wasn't expecting it.
Let's give me 10 seconds.
Yeah.
So like Amy said, we all are in one accord when it comes. Even I'm so amazed to hear George too, and George be balanced. We must speak fairness and where fairness is due. And I was always say this, right? Regardless of what, one thing we'll always turn around tomorrow and say, you know what? Our president, we did something great. He conceded. He turned power over peacefully, because that thing called power, presidency in Africa, they are vicious when it comes to that. So I would want to say, to conclude on Amy and this other line of topic, that President Weah, thank you again. You listen to those people for power grabs. Thank you very much. That would say to you.
Now, maybe we can conclude on this and just go to the lines. Why? Okay, let me play this. Let me play a portion of this. We know this whole campaign thing is over. We are in a transitional phase now. Very soon we'll be talking about inauguration. The transitional teams have been set up and everything. But let's go back a bit. There's always a lesson to learn from all of these activities. Why do we think?
Something, some of you just here fooling us. You're not doing us justice. People have no idea how it takes for a city government, especially our CDC, we know. CDC don't struggle for victory. CDC, we know 2014, CDC don't struggle for victory. It's a wake-up call to CDC next, maybe 2029 something. Should be told, from the look of things, the people really beat us. The people voted against us with millions of anger. Yeah? Some of us been behind the CDC since 2005. We have not even worked in government. But because of the love we have for this party. That's why I kept us still going. You need to be honest to tell people the truth on here, me. You know how some of us feeling right now? You know how many homes going have issues? Parents going out of job? Hell no, me. I need to be honest, me. You know something I can openly say, I'm one of those pricing who do not have a pricing or pricing in the CDC government, but yet and still, I have still been committed to my party because the love for my party. Since 2005 up till now, I have not gotten government job. I have not worked in this government. I will say it here today, openly, the only person I help in this government for certain time is the commissioner, Minister Commissioner Namwe. Apart from that, nobody in the CDC government I have ever gotten help from. With that being said, I still stood my ground as sedition.
Okay, so there's it's a whole long one there, but now in the midst of everything, she spoke of how the Unity Party fought and the CDC was elected. They did what they could and everything. But let's go back a little. CDC in opposition for 12 years. CDC fought. CDC staged numerous of protest stations across the country. At the end of the day, CDC got state power in January 2018. But for just 6 years, for just the first 6 years, CDC was booted out of power after being in opposition for 12 years. Can we go back a little? Why? Just why? Maybe we can take just 2 minutes each on this, then we'll go to the lines. Why do you guys think that the CDC was voted out of power too early? Just the first 6 years. Unity Party got the chance. Unity Party had 12 years. They went there. The expectation, the anticipation was that CDC would have remained in power maybe for 12 years. You heard Minister Tue said President George Weah will be a benevolent dictator. You know, at some point he said 24 years. At some point he said 18 years, and then they came back and said 12 years. But why was the CDC voted out of power for just the first 6 years after all they fought for? So let's go back a little. Let's start with the CDC man. Let's start with George himself, because I see he wants to come in. He wants to jump on this one real quick. George, why was your CDC voted out of power so quick for just the first 6 years after being in opposition for 12 years? You fought for this thing.
Nelson, it hurts to yeah to have such protracted time in office. I think it's the first in our history for somebody to just have one term. I think it is something that is very much dreadful, to hear about. If we had this thing in 2017 that we're just going to be in power for 6 years, we're going to be something that we're going to really dread. But look, I will tell you, and I will be frank to the show. The reason why the CDC lost power after 6 years is because of the expectation of the Liberian people. They expected too much too soon. And CDC did not do well in trying to lower their expectation.
No,
CDC did-
but then you're saying something, just to that first point, right, Josh?
yeah. Mhm.
In order for expectation to be created, there's got to be promises. What did the expectation exceed the promises that the CDC made to the people? Did the expectation exceed that which you already, the atmosphere you created for them?
Look, you're right. You're right, Nelson. Here's the thing. One of the things my brother here spoke about,
Yeah.
Sandy, he talked about communication.
Mhm.
Communication is key in politics. You must be able to reach the people with the message, and the message should reach the people the way you want it to reach them. That means you gotta be concise, precise in what you say. If you're not, people will interpret it, and once that interpretation goes into their, into their mindset, it is
Mhm.
hard to eradicate that. So when the president went on the pulpit, when you're being inaugurated in January of 20, I think 18,
Yeah,
he
2018,
said
January 27.
people will not be spectators of their own economy.
Yeah.
That statement was profound. That statement, I disagree with it from the beginning. And yet, it's what I said that the president should have said. If you work hard, you have a place in Liberia. He should have attached hard work. Nobody can enjoy without hard work. You have to struggle. You have to labor. Even in America, you have to go to work. Let me hear, I'm in the office, I'm working. I cannot stay in Australia and sit down home and expect to get money. No. Here in Australia, they can pay you when you don't work. The government pays you. But that money is not enough for it to even, maybe to go on holiday. They only give it to you so you can live and eat small things in your house and pay your rent. But it's not enough for you to go on holiday or to do any other thing. So the president should have said, if you work hard, there's a place for you here in Liberia, and you can live a life that is comfortable. But when you say you will not be spectator, I want to sit down home and you bring food to me. You see what Amara started to say? Amara is trying to lower the expectations of the people. That's why he
Mm.
said people should buckle up. Mara said he said the same thing. She said people need to buckle up. There will be tough times. Well, what President Weah said was, if you will not be spectators, and that statement was blanket, and people took it to be that we're coming to enjoy. And once that enjoyment was not coming, that was it.
And you think that's why the CDC got voted out in the first 6 years?
That's what I believe. That's what I believe. And not just that statement. Overall, the Liberian people were anticipating that from day one, the streets are going to be paved and everything was going to be okay. And CDC
But,
did
but,
not
but,
do
but, but,
well.
but
So,
George, don't you think the messaging on the part of the CDC, uh, from the time in opposition, your messaging, what you told the Liberian people, sort of play a role in building that expectation to the level at which uh, you met it?
yeah,
For
you can
example,
see.
you were in opposition, you talk about the CDC being the masses party, and
Mhm.
CDC getting to power was like the ordinary people coming to enjoy their country. I mean, we can give a blind eye to the fact that you also preach the native Congo politics, that these native, those Congo people, that the native people party, and the ordinary Liberians saw the CDC as their party, as a
Mhm.
grassroots party, and all of that.
Mhm.
Don't you think that sort of,
And
you know, increase this expectation that you expected them at a later date to reduce?
look, Nelson, and I will admit that the CDC worked hard to make sure that the government was for the people.
Mhm.
It was lower to the people. If you look at this, the ministers in the CDC government, maybe 5% of them came from overseas. All of them were Liberians who were living in Liberia.
Mhm.
That is the first of its kind. So President Weah did extremely well to make sure that the people experienced their government. But what went wrong was most of the things are happening as well. When something happens, there are so many contributing factors for the
Thank you.
for the war in Ukraine, the COVID pandemic, and all these things put together did not create the atmosphere that will
Mm.
make investment, to be profitable. Like for instance, iron ore price dropped to I think 25 cents or something. So all these things contributed to not bringing enough money into the country, and because of that, the people lives livelihood went down instead of going up. So look, it was just an uphill battle, and guess what? We're going to see, because in Mana Eddie Johnson Salif government, NGO was supplying drugs to hospital free of charge, so we couldn't go out of drugs. Now that UP has come back to power and that does not exist again, we want to see whether drugs will be in every hospital
Thank you.
and everything is going to be okay.
Thank you.
We are watching and we'll see.
Thank you. Let's hear from you, Hans. Then we'll take
I,
Alfred.
I'm laughing because Josh, when you said it hurts, I had this right by my side, and I'm just messing with you, brother. No, you know I mean no harm, but in all fairness, Josh said some important things. Yes, Madam Sirleaf had NGOs.
Yeah.
Your government, the premise were laid down for your government to propel to a
Yeah.
better position. By this time, we all talking. Probably myself would have probably been pushing for another 6 years for President Weah.
Yeah. But
So
in the midst of that, why do you think the CDC was voted out
I,
too
I
early?
I'm
Just the
I'm
first 6 years.
I'm starting the plane. I'm about to take off.
Okay.
The
Take off
the
gradually.
the, the thing here is the first 18 months we
Mhm.
saw the erection of duplexes by the president. Those things have optics. Don't think like Liberian people stupid. They are not, or we are not stupid people. The people saw it. The common people saw it. When President Weah stood over there at SKD and took the oath, and I was one of those who was like, so be it. We're gonna support this president. Up to I don't know when I still have hope for Weah. I've been United Party since the 90s. So that tells you I ain't no small potato when it comes to politics. But like that girl crying, that's what happens when you devote yourself into a political party and don't prepare yourself in case you lose. We lost election under Charles Taylor. We sit down and cry, we work. I'm talking about United Party. 2017 King, we lost. I felt for me technically, as much as I wanted United Party to go, I also felt I wanted change as well. I didn't want to see the continuation of a United Party 2017. So President Weah take over was not bad. But when we saw the duplexes, then President Weah lieutenants. George said something that was very important. 95% or let's say 80% of the government ministers were local. Fair enough. But look at what the locals did to the very locals. Samura Wolokoli, Fina Bono, Kalasco, the name endless. We saw Chairman Nangwe moving from one party to another. Okay, we're not gonna put it on Chairman Nangwe because he's good at what he does. But the local minister that were provided the tax to really work for your people. Look at the duplexes. Look at those people's houses. Look at Samora Wolokoli homes in 6 years. Show me which of Ellen Johnson boys. You, Josh, you're a strong staunchman for that political party, CDC. Where your house? Or where your house is? Why you need to go work for the government and steal? Because that's not you, Josh. That's not you. But those guys, look at what it did. So I like what you said. It's going to be challenging because the country is drained. These guys drain the country. They squander. When you're talking about the word squander, CDC government squander. That's why the people turn around and voted you guys after 6 years. The president, we have never made a significant change to the government. The United States brought that charges on Minister of State and they put director and the Solicitor General. Those are the only things President we say he's suspending them, then they resign. But look at the minister of, not minister, look at the police director. Look at all those key areas. Samura will look, the finance ministry. How many times Madam Sally changed finance ministers? How many times Madam Sally changed the Bureau of Police? How many times Madam Sally didn't make changes at Lands and Mines? Those are things you have to shuffle your government. Those were all contributing factors to President Weah defeat. And Liberian people saw it. They sat down and waited for October 10th. Boom. They said we're gonna wait for November 15th. But and it happened. So Josh, I like your conviction. You spoke in all avenues, the fairness and the dishonor talk. But at the end of the day, you are sitting into reality and realize that at least you're one of the few people we can have a conversation with, believe that CDC squander and they messed up. I will stop there.
Okay, thank you. Let's take Alfred. Alfred, go ahead.
My brother, the first thing that happened in 2017 was that the George Weah led administration never had any structure. They never had any policy in place. George Weah alluded to that to say, I never told the Liberian people anything, and they voted me. So he had the power to do anything. So if you look at the George Weah administration from the very beginning, it told the guys almost 3 to 6 months to really have a policy paper that people can look at. That what happened to them, they never had any structure. So that statement that George Weah made, that Liberians will not be spectators in their own economy, it was a statement to give the guys the leeway to come and steal. Because if you can tell me a president who is serious for development, who is serious to lift his country out of abject poverty, will break down his home in 6 months and start building a new home in Liberian Porto and say, oh, I give it to my son. The son of principal way in Paris, I can build one horse. He said, I get it, the horse to my son. When the brand push, the son called, the son say, that's in I talking my hand, he said, today, you have a press secretary that could not talk on that day. He couldn't talk again. He was just there making free money. He was just there making free money. Excuse me, my people. So the George Weah thing we are living the past now with George Weah. Because if the man was serious to really live Liberia out of poverty, you understand, he would have done what we call major reshuffle in the government. This is the first time in Liberian history to have a seated government from day one to the end of their tenure, no major reshuffle. The only thing they can do, when you are a government official, you disagree with the president, they fire you. Once you disagree with the president, they fire you, they say that party mandate. What kind of country is that? You running a country and calling a party mandate. We saw people being fired, they being fired because they disagree. They disagree with the president. So the president fired and they said a party mandate. So we can say all what we want to say. We made a mistake as a people. George Weah should have never come near the presidency. We made a big mistake. And all of us, me not talking about George Weah today. I was in the trenches.
And again,
you know what I mean? So
Alfred,
yeah.
Again, let me restate the question. Why do you think the CDC government was voted out in the first 6 years? Just the first term, they was the government was voted out.
Let me put it this way, maybe you understand it. You know, when a woman is abused for so long, and you the new man now that see her, she beautiful, but she being abused for too long. All right, you come to her, you say, Mama, I know that you are being abused. She said, yeah, they put it and let me hear. Anybody that can, they can do they want to me. So okay, Mama, you know I've been dry your tears. I will protect you. I will make sure that you have food on your table. Only for the net to come, then you need the woman door open. While she's sleeping, you leave from there. Then another man come in the house to come and attack her there. When you come out, look at your face. You think she will really look at your face?
So what are you trying to say? Just
what I'm trying to tell you is that George Weah and all his people then, the king, they told all that Labrador was being abused. Nobody will take money and put it in their pocket. George Weah speech, I'm trying to paraphrase now. George Weah say, no government official, he will fight corruption. No government official will take the government money and put it in their pocket. But in 6 months, he was bidding 14 condominium. The same man that said government official will not take money and put in their pocket, he was the one that stealing government money. He was the one that going into donor fund and take money from them. They call it D-hole cover hole. That's the first time in Liberian history for a sitting government to go in donor fund and D-hole to cover hole. They use that terminology, D-hole to cover hole. I'm not someone to a brother, you know everything. You know one brother D-hole and cover hole until now ambassador got to really president of it and say, you know what happened? The money to send your bank now for you look for your own money. In fact, you put our money back. Up to now, the president will not even to put our money back. Okay? So if you ask the question why we vote them out, it's because of recklessness. The guys don't know nothing about government. They don't know what you call governance. They know nothing about it. They came to enrich themselves, evident by the fact that people that nothing like were being sanctioned. Someone who could not even pay, who could not afford to live in your own one-way apartment to really do a community that when you were living in SAD Boulevard. You could not pay, you are suffering to pay. But by the time the man became minister of state, in less than 6 months, He had the money to go credit. He had the power to credit money from LBDR, 200,000 to buy a home. When he not get no business running in the country, he ain't got no history of business, nothing. But he was able to get 200,000 to buy a home.
Thank you.
So that's why like people got angry and say we can't continue the thing. The people gotta go, and that's why they voted him out. And guess what? We will audit all of them. That thing we are talking, you are saying, oh, audit that we show. You are sitting there. Let Joe Biden can bring fresh air in our government. You will see. We will be, I think, at this standard of ban some of all. We'll open our own social media page and make sure we move in. Because that brought for too long, my man. 175 years, we get access to pure drinking water in the country. No access to good roads. No access to good education. No access to electricity. They will continue in this land. No, we tired. We are tired. And I dare Joe Biden that I can't play phone with all they will know. We're not Joe with them. Thank you.
Thank you. Sandy, let's hear from you.
Look, Nelson, the question why these folks were the CDC was voted out in just 6 years.
Yeah.
Look, even the blind could feel that the country was being mismanaged. There are two major things that open the eyes of the Liberian people. The flamboyances and direct suffering. The flamboyancy of the leaders of the seditions and leaders within the government directly showing to the people they are storing wealth. Directly pointing in the face of the people, the hungry people, they are storing overnight wealth. Chronic disrespect for the Liberian people. Your city mayor, who could not afford a bike, became an overnight rich man wearing Gucci. My brother George and myself, I'm sure we were making more money than this guy before he came to government. I don't think we have wear Gucci. George, and I.
That go
English.
That's just one example, Nelson. That's just one example. You are in government. The people know you before you came to government. They know that you couldn't afford anything for yourself. Overnight, you became rich. And the people are hungry. Many examples. Minister Nathaniel McGill, we can go on and on. My man, government job is not a place you get rich in less than 3 years. You are not a business person. You're getting salary. You're getting salary. And that money, we're supposed to know it. And I use the word supposed to because they do a lot of illegal stuff. So that's one aspect. The many promises to the Liberian people that didn't come true. You will not be spectator. But it came to a point you were far from the field.
Okay.
Foreigners benefiting from your resources. You can't even get your businesses. Our miners, our mine partner, their businesses were not even going anymore. Then the drug issue. Then when the people complain, CDC say, but at the same thing was happening during head in government. The lack of leadership, the lack of accountability, the refusal to be responsible and take the Liberian people issue seriously. When we complain, we say drugs in the country, they say, but anything that used to be around here anytime. The people hungry, then it's all hungry during healing time.
Thank you.
The people say, okay, send us anytime you want, send us for everything. We'll take you from there.
So you think that's why the CDC got voted out in the
Yeah,
first 6 years.
and let me give credit to social media. Social media also opened the eyes of the Liberian people. Radio station like this, like the Spoon Network. As the people were feeling the pain, we were telling the people why they were feeling the pain. As the people were going to bed hungry, we were telling them the truth why they were going to bed hungry. As their children were not going to school because of no school fees, Waterspoon and other people were telling them why. So it wasn't Samuel Toy that was just coming and lying to them anymore. Well-meaning Liberians on radio networks were telling them the truth.
Thank you.
And this is going to continue. If JMB make the same mistake, we will tell them the truth. Yeah, Yama, thank you. Yama Thompson, the cake clean and all, they lied to us. But yeah, thank you.
Let's hold you there. Thanks a lot, Cindy. Let's hear from you, Amy, and then we'll go to the lines. Why do you think the CDC government was voted out in the first 6 years after being opposition for 12 years?
It's a lot of things, but since I don't have time, I'm just gonna go through a little bit. My colleagues here have already named some of it. Brother George, he said they're thinking ahead. You are not expecting everything. I told you in 2017 it was just gonna be one turn you or something. But we try to tell you so many times on this platform since we started here, but you refuse to listen. At least a couple of months ahead, you would have still been okay. But you didn't make it. That's okay. But
He got love, but he didn't make it, eh?
yeah, he didn't. We have so many things we have said that made the Liberian people vote him. And my brother George said he lifted that expectation too high. And he should have said, if you work hard, there will be a place for you in Liberia. And he made a comparison with where he at. But I think where we at, the government makes it possible for us to work hard. You know, they give us the resources, they give us the chance to be able to work hard and make it. But Josh, in Liberia, the past 6 years, I don't care how much hard you work, you couldn't make it. You have to make the environment conducive for that to happen. But he didn't. And like Cindy said, you didn't, but the government officials, they're flashing all the wealth in the people's faces. Everybody else sweating, but these guys got air conditioning fanning themselves. That if they're not going through what these people are going through in less than 2, 3, 4 years, when you guys were looking at us, now you look like you have all these multi-billion-dollar businesses that you're making it this so fast, and we're not. He mentioned the time ago. I couldn't pay his rent. Look at where he buried his mother. And then you come and tell it, Liberian people say, oh, because of COVID, so we can't do this. But what about you? COVID not affecting you? It's just me? And I mean, how could you have tell the Liberian people that things are hard because it's happening this with them, but they're not seeing it with you? Even in the hospital, no drugs. My brother just said it. But yeah, the U.S. ambassador told us it's $70 million every year to Liberia for hospital, for the healthcare system. But yes, still. And then we said Eddie's government or oatmeal or whatever. But yeah, we were still getting money for healthcare on a Weah. What happened to that? 70 million. Liberia, as little as it is, where I'm at. I think Texas, Liberia is like, what, 4 or 5 times into Texas?
To the USAID.
If you were to put that money where it needed to go, do you know how much help that would have been to our people? And even money that they got from people at the airport from COVID, all of those money just disappeared. So I mean, it's so much. It's not about before COVID. What was going on for the people? Before we want to blame everything on COVID. America can tell me because of COVID this happening, that happening. Because I know what my life was like in America before COVID got here. I think the people know what their lives were like in Liberia before Ebola started. So when you say something, that would even make it something and say, oh yeah, that because of this and that happened. But you just blaming something on COVID. But before COVID, it was the same 06 and 7.
Okay.
The lies, the stealing. It was broad. Not even inhaling. It was way broader than what it has been in the past. And lying, the constant lying, and then selling our resources. Business owners, Liberian business owner being tortured, but the foreign business owner, they are just there, stepping all over. How can a foreigner in my country have more rights than me as a Liberian, born and raised? Even the ones that are left when they come to the US that want to carry businesses back to that country, these foreigners have more rights. They have more resources, more what tax breaks or whatever than people in our own country. And then you call that what fairness? That it's just. I mean, nothing. They have said it all, and thank God Weah is no longer there. But it's just so much things
Thank
that are in the open that we can see that we believe and know that our people are not stupid. I know they thought because the love that they have for Weah before it was going to oversee their happiness and their children, even school fees. You lie to the people you paying Wyatt. But you know how much you taking from them, harmonization and all of that. Even the PTA money they
you.
pay in the PTA is disappearing. How can you tell the
Thank
people anything? I mean, thank you too, Nelson. Thank you.
Thank you. Thanks a lot, Amy. So we have to go to the
Thank you
lines
very,
now.
very much.
Yeah,
Thank you
just
very,
just a
very
quick
much.
one, just a quick one,
Let's
guys, just a
let's
quick
let's,
one.
let's
Nelson, please, just 1 minute,
we
few
Josh.
seconds, please. Yes.
Tell the people won't call in.
The people won't call, Georgie. Let the people call.
Let's take few calls, Josh. We'll come back.
Okay.
You have
Playing
the
your
time.
cousin.
So you can put your calls through now 088 that's 0555 055 and we have the WhatsApp line right on the screen that you can call as well in case you want to make an input. You can call the WhatsApp line as well. So let's take our first call here from the line. Hello.
Yeah, hello.
Yeah, name and where you call from.
Different guy I called from the old room.
Let's say you got it.
Yeah. Eh?
Hello.
Yeah, hello.
Hello. Hello. Hello. Wow, what's happening here? Let's take this one. Hello.
Hello.
Yes, and name and where you call from.
Yeah, I called you on community.
Okay.
Yeah, my name Mami Kule.
Okay, let's hear you.
Eh?
Go ahead, let's hear you. Let's hear your contribution to the discussion tonight.
I called you for the rest video.
We're not doing the rest beneath tonight, man. We'll do it tomorrow. Thank you. Let's take another person on this line. Hello. Hello. This is interesting. 00555 we have the WhatsApp on the screen as well. Let's see if we can take someone from the WhatsApp. Hello, good morning. Morning.
Hello.
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay.
Hello.
How are you? Hello.
Hello.
Yeah, this is Jeff Allison.
Yeah, go ahead, Allison. Let's hear you.
Yeah, I am one of the victims that were in the accident.
One of the victims are in which accident?
The accident happened on Monday to Unity Party office.
Okay, let's hear you.
And my family brought me to brought me talking about airport. They went this straight.
Mm-hmm.
Hello.
Yeah, go ahead.
They brought me here to different district. 2 legs were broken and 1 hand. But up to now, nobody have come here to help my people here.
Up to now, which people have not come now?
I ain't calling you the people.
But all of the victims were taken at JFK. How come you alone were taken at Bomi?
Mawa, who left there. my two legs are broken.
Okay. So you can call after the show. Just call this number after the show. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So I don't want us to divert from our actual talking point here this morning. Let's hear you. Good morning.
Yeah, I don't know. How you doing?
Yeah. Go ahead. You're live.
Yeah, just want to make some food. People calling it, just feel that arrest being you got to make it clear to them. But let's go back to the topic. There was a lot of things that the CDC did. It was put out within 6 years time. Lack of communication, lack of interest of the Liberian people. Have to believe that Liberia was only for them. It was never for anybody else. Once you are now citizens, you make the Liberian people to be like they are refugees into their own home. Things happen to people, injustice, lack of accountability. It's lack, mercy. But the Liberian people are such a people, they sit and listen. But it takes them a lot of times to talk. But when they speak, you can be who? They can never change their voice.
Okay.
That's the Liberian people are.
Thank you.
And Liberian people sit and they watch and they spoke.
Thank
That's
you.
why the CDC failed in the past 6 years.
Thank you. Let's hold you there, being Gabu, and take another person. You can call the WhatsApp line that's on the screen there, or you can also call 0555 and then you will be live on the program tonight. Let's see if we can take another person here. Hello, your name and where you call from?
Good morning.
Yeah, morning.
Yeah, my name is Memuna. Memuna, I call from Ghana.
Okay, let's hear you, Memuna.
Yeah, thank you for the show anyway. Yes, I listen while I'm able to pass today.
Okay.
Yes. Yeah, there's a topic on a discussion. They see this, the reason for which
the CDC
were voted out.
Yeah, were voted out.
There are so many reasons.
Yeah.
But I can only point out three.
Okay.
One, when lack of security. Because our president told us that we should be our own security. And then criminals used to come and knock our door. Nobody will even come, even your neighbor afraid to us. And number two, when those things happening when we protesting, they can say because you are opposition.
Okay.
Then they will go carry fake information to the president that the people just want lay laws. But everything is unfold.
And you think that's why the CDC was voted out? Okay.
Yes.
Thank you. Let's hold you there and take another person here. Hello. Yeah, hello. Go ahead. Your name and where you call from?
My name will be Christopher. I call from Germany.
Okay, go ahead, Christopher. Let's hear you.
Yeah, CDC. Was voted out within 6 years because of a lot of things that was happening in the country. Even though we were not there, but like the social media, phone FM, always relate to us, and they always bring out information relating to the country. People who were responsible to do auditing were killed. No account. Like boys were killed to St. Moses.
The three missing boys.
If I'm not mistaken. Yeah, the missing boys. There was nothing. There was no step taken against that. The Liberian people see it. They look at it. They know what was going on. Things that were happening in the country. There's no development plan. Jefferson Koji going around. The man is a city mayor, but every day he has press conferences. Nothing to say, nothing to tell the people. Calling all the rebel leaders from the bush to come in the city, planning what nobody knows.
Okay.
There are a lot of things that are going on in the country that Liberian people look at and say, oh yes, indeed, we don't want to go back to the war.
Thank you.
Those guys are reflecting our minds back to what happened in the 90s. Okay. So for this, there's nothing that these people go and bring. Somebody, there are somebody factor that brought their downfall today.
Thank you. Let's hold you there and take this person from this other line. So we'll take two more calls and then we wrap up. Hello.
morning.
Morning, your name and where you call from?
Prince, calling from Douala Balafra community.
Okay, let's hear you.
Judge, your topic quite interesting, actually. You see, CDC, lost it 6 years. I know for sure all are grieving. There were so many reasons.
Yeah, just two of those reasons why you think the CDC.
Reason is number one, immaturity. Maturity. So you have a government where the common citizen want to know what is going on. People will just talk to them just so carelessly. How would you tell somebody no security, have your own CC camera, and about regular stuff? Second, at the level of coaching, government give you a position to serve as a portal lieutenant to promote your government. You're telling the board that you are not done by you.
So you think the Dumpa Hero thing also contributed to the defeat?
Sure, Joe. I put you in a place being my portal lieutenant to see how well you can make my government to function. Then you make kind of a statement.
Thank you.
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Let's go there and take this person. Hello. Hello.
Yes, my name is. Yeah, hello.
Yeah, go ahead.
My name is John Gagula. I call you from Philadelphia.
Okay, let's hear you.
Yeah, there are numerous things I led to CDC just going for 6 years. One of them could be the number of drugs inflow into the country.
Okay.
2, the expectation given to the people was not met.
Okay.
You make the people to understand. You make the people to understand that this was going to happen for them, and it did not work for them. That's 2. 3, it was internal leadership. You see, President Weah himself want to be like he controls everything, and that don't work like that. And then you got people in government, other people benefiting than another people in the same government. So I think government taking one person, you see, Nangwe will never leave a government because I don't know who he is, how educated he is. I'm not going at him personally, but sometimes you got to do check and balance. All a series of reasons that CDC has to leave power.
Thank you.
I'm a CDC. Yeah, so I just wanted to say so. It's so frustrating sometimes, like I listen to that, I just listening to your voice. It's kind of frustrating.
Thank you.
Anticipation, expectation. Okay.
Thanks a lot. I appreciate it. Thank you. Let's take another person here. Hello, your name and where you call from?
Hello.
Yeah, go ahead.
Nothing. My name is Vincent Cooper. I call from Kentucky, Louisville.
Okay. Why do you think the CDC was voted out of power for the first 6 years?
To me, there are a lot more reasons for which the CDCs were put out of power for only one term. But there are just few important reasons why the Liberian people were resolved.
You want to state?
And one of those reasons will be the fact that the Georgia-led government did not realize that they were elected to seek the needs, that basic needs of the Liberian people. What do I mean? Every sector of the country were very, very much stagnant. I mean, look at the employment sector. The only employment means the government had for the entire Liberian population were in government. That is not possible. They never created any condition that the people were ever going to be employed through the private sector. They never attracted any investor into the country, which brought about a very serious hardship on the people of the country.
Thank you.
And that particular sector, Nelson, that particular sector affected every sector of the country. Because even when you go to the market, those that are doing businesses, the purchasing power in the country got very, very low, that business people were not able to make profit anymore. They were not able to make sales to take care of their responsibilities. People that took loans, you understand, people that took loans had to be into a deficit with their loan agents. I mean, their loan institutions, and business were broken down because of those reasons.
Thank you.
They just focus on government and just flooded the payroll of the government
That's what you
with their
there.
partisans. And at the end of the day, they simply just let me learn. You know, when we have an opportunity to call it, their leader would take 1 minute of the time to
Okay,
make
yeah,
our
yeah,
points.
just conclude on that. Yeah, just conclude.
Okay, so those are the reasons. Those are, there are a lot more. The health sector, the educational sector, even where they said they were making free education in the country. I mean, the impact of the free education, nobody can see it. Not just to declare that education is free in the universities, and then the universities were now being supported to the fullest to be able to build the capacity of the people
Thank you.
up to the standard that they're required.
Thank you.
You know,
Thanks
a
a lot.
lot more reasons, man. Okay.
Thank you. Thank you very much. I appreciate you. Thanks for your participation on the program tonight. I think we have to go. Let's do our closing now. We don't have much time. Um, let's start with Hans. Hans, you can start to do your closing, sir.
Sure. Thank you, Nelson. It's been a great honor and privilege sharing the stage with you guys, as two gentlemen here tonight, and all our listeners out there. Um, Tonight we freestyle a little bit about CDC downfall, but I think we're about to move forward. I first want to say, pay homage to the great standard bearer, the founder of the Unity Party, Honorable the late Dr. Edward B. Kessler, someone who stood for unity, who stood for progress, and where I believe that his family is looking up today and say, yeah, our father, our late husband, uncle, grandfather stood up for something, and the Unity Party is for something. I hate to put this to say, but when you don't stand up for something, you fall for nothing. We had a Chewy party is in non-existent, the National Democratic Party non-existent, the NPP they just hanging, and now the CDC is gonna be next. I sad to get sorry to give you the sad news, but when you don't rule with interest for the people, your downfall will be no more. And there's no way on this earth the Congress or coalition or Democratic change, whatever they may call themselves in the near future, maybe they might rebrand themselves and come back, will be able to stand a chance to win elections in Liberia. No, it ain't gonna happen. We have other strong political parties coming up. Grassroots for Democratic Change, I believe the GDM, I believe how they call themselves. And but I still want to stress the need that Unity Party will always be there for the people. We have seen it under Madam Sirleaf. We read about it, and my folks saw it under Dr. Kessley. So this me Heinz, you see, so my affiliation with Unity Party is it got to do with bloodline and streamline for my uncles who they all sacrificed in the 80s, went to jail for Unity Party. So I stand here today to say I'm a proud Unity Party person. As much as I'm a Unity Party person, like that lady over there, like any Unity Party person listening to my voice right now, do not attach yourself to a political party for jobs or anything. Create yourself the avenue where you'll be able to fall on in case when that party is not in existence no more. But a party that comes out there for the people, by the people, and provide for the people will always be a political party that stands for something. And may his soul rest in peace, Dr. B. N. Kessler. I pay homage to you because you stood for what Liberians are and what we see today. Thank you.
Thanks a lot, Hans. Josh, you want to go?
Hello, thank you, Nelson and fellow panelists. There's something I want to say tonight. I know it will sound very odd to people. I'm sure I'm going to get a lot of enemies tonight. But since we are in the healing process as a nation, the truth has to be said. And this goes to every one of us. We have a very bad omen about us as Liberians. I don't know any country or nationals with that attribute to them. We have this thing that when we are in the same condition, if your condition improves, we get angry about that. I know a lot of friends when I used to wear one trouser together. When my life changed, they were very angry. I know if they were close to God, they could have told God to bring me back to where I used to be with them. And that applies to our political sphere as well. And I just want to tell Woman Wakai, all your ministers should come from America. If your ministers don't come from America, and the Liberian people know that those guys were suffering before, and you give them job, and they start to get a better life than the people they were living amongst, the jealousy will be high, and that same thing that brought your government down will bring your government down. People get very envious. The crap mentality in our society is very high. People don't let you see you poor and then they see you get better life. And over them, they will get very envious, and that's exactly one of the reasons why George Weah government came down. People felt that even if your life was bad and you got a job with government, your life should still remain the same. It should not change.
Thank
You
you.
should not build a house. You should not anything. And that's a crap mentality to our people. It has to change. And this goes to every one of us. And I know a lot of people don't like this, but it's the truth. We hate each other once we know that you're better than us. You say, who you think you are? You know, that sort of mentality is amongst us, and it's bad. It
Thank
does
you.
not lead to better things in our nation. Thank you.
Thank you, Josh. Alfred, you're closing.
You know, sometimes when I sit here and I listen to my brother George, sometimes I can really think into my mind whether this is not in any way condescending George, but I can really be thinking whether George went to school. Yeah, because for George to sit on the show and tell us that because people living from America to go Liberia, that want me Liberian people in Liberia hate them, and that want me to bring George Weah down. That is the biggest lie. In
You
fact, it's a
see,
diabolical
No,
lie.
that's not what he said.
this guy does not think. He does not think. You
That-
hate
that-
big for nothing.
The man said,
Yeah,
the
you
man
hate
said,
big for
you are
nothing.
listening to
Don't
me.
listen. You listen.
The man
No,
said,
You hate
George,
that big for nothing. You
Yeah,
hold
question
yeah,
on,
my
let me
speech.
close.
You
Hold
question
on,
my
this
listen
speech.
people
to
are
me,
big
man.
fans.
Hate
Hold
This
on,
is
let me
there.
go back.
Nothing is
y'all won't bring fire in the show.
Okay, let me say what George said.
George didn't say
No, no,
that though.
guys, let
In
me
all
come in.
fairness,
Let me
George
come
didn't say
in.
that.
The man
Let me come
said,
in. Yeah,
George,
yeah.
Let me.
Joseph Boga will bring all the
I'm
people.
the only female here. Let me tell you what George said. You didn't
No,
hear
I
it either.
listen to him. I
George
listen to the
said,
man.
no, you did not. I'm on my brother's George side on this one. Right, George? So George said that he said Joe Boyka should take all his people from here,
From
America.
Mhm.
Because if he takes people from Liberia and our life starts to change, the Liberians are there, or all of us will start to envy them and say that their lives are supposed to stay the same. That's what happened to the Weah-led government.
Okay, bring me down now. Bring me down from the air. Bring me down from the air. I'm
You
not
still in the
protected.
air?
Yes,
Yeah, you
Okay,
are
so
protected. Go ahead, Alfred. Go ahead.
So
Thank
you
you
want
very
to say
much.
sorry to me? You want to say
Thank
sorry
you.
to me for
Thank
insulting
you.
me?
I'm not thinking about my man. Let me say this.
So
The Constitution is very clear. Our
you just
Constitution is very clear.
misquoted George.
Nelson, let him apologize.
Man,
You
only me an
just
Okay, I
apology,
take it back.
but
He just
George,
insulted
I
me.
take it back. You're my professional brother. I take it back. Okay, now let's go to the issue.
So, but where were you when George was making his point? Where
No,
were
I
you?
listen to George. Maybe he now understanding me why I was going. I don't know. Whoa, because maybe I too emphatic, the way I speak. So probably definitely I was going.
Okay,
to
Konoa,
George.
please wrap up.
The
We
point I
got
was making, Nelson, is that I disagree with my brother George when he said that the people in Liberia, when they get the opportunity to make their life better, then other people were evident. That's not true. It's a diabolical lie. Over and over, the Liberian people continue to show to our leaders through their vote that they want a better life. So you tell me today that if I in Liberia I get electricity in my house, and my friend on the other side not get electricity, he will jealous me because I get electricity? No. The truth of the matter is All of us want for the government to create an environment where I can have access to electricity, where you can have access to electricity. Just how they do the mobile phone company in Liberia, where you can get a dollar, you put in your phone. Nobody can envy you nursing. When I get a dollar, I put in my phone, who can have money? They make phone to be cheap. You can go get your $100 phone. I can go buy my $10 phone. We get phone. You can put your $3 in your 20, you get a 3 day. I can put my $3, I get my 3 day. Okay. So we are saying to church and everybody that listen to us that we want a government that will create an environment where investors can trust the government and the system that they can bring that money. Look, no bad system will ever attract good money. If you get bad system, no good money will come in that environment. So let's be clear with our people. Nobody here, nobody in Liberia. So the thing that the CDC board did to kind of government start stealing and not punishing people that they knew that stole from government. And they say we are all causing. Joshua is on record of saying that we are all causing. So when you punish a man, you punishing the other causing will kind of attack you, say, oh, why are you punishing our son? We have to get away from the culture of impunity. When people steal from the country, then we say that brothership, we do it a family ship. We got to get away from it if we want to have a better government. Look, I can feel ashamed as a Liberian that people can live from here. The 60 years set up. That nursing, you can drive 2 o'clock in the morning and reach to the red light and stop. No police there. No police. You will stop. Some area, my brother Heinz said on the set there, he will tell you, some area you don't have red light, but you have stop sign. You reach there, you will stay stop and look left and look right before you move. But in our country, when people leave, when they go over there, I don't know what can happen to them. To them. If they reach on the airport, then all the good system in them lost. Then they go all this happening, all kinds of things, and bringing the country down. Now,
thank you.
Finally, by saying
thank you.
Honor Joseph Yuma Bwaka. We have sacrificed too long. The other time I came on, they said, I told you, I said, nursing, some of our parents suffer from the war I fought in Liberia. We lost everything. My whole family home was burned down, and we never recover. Some of us, God bless or God bless, and we on the other side of the world. Okay? So when we come here, we come with passion, we come with everything to let our people know that there is better life on the other side once we do the right thing. So honor Joseph Yuma Bwaka led government, we will hold Joseph Yuma Bwaka feet to the fire to ensure that the environment is created where our people can become independent for themselves, not begging government officials all of the time. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thanks a lot. Cindy, and then Amy will take us home.
Yeah, so a good show, another good show. And Nelson, thank you for your time. I know it's, time for you to at least get a nap. So thank you. And thanks to the people commenting and listening to us and keeping us up here. I want to end here, Nelson, by just going back to the first thing that I started with tonight, which is what was on my mind. And it has to do with the election of the leadership of the House of Representatives. I just want to ask our lawmakers, especially the newly elected lawmakers, to do the right thing. Do the right thing for the Liberian people. The Speaker of the House and the Deputy Speaker of the House are very important decision makers in any given country. They controls a lot of resources, and whatever they do or say can have a direct impact on our country. Look among yourselves, look among your colleagues, and pick the best. Do not be moved away by cash. Do not be controlled by by cash or people trying to influence you based on personal relationship. You were voted to serve. You were voted to put Liberia first. And Liberia, you should always put first. So find the right person and vote a well-learned, well-educated, and experienced, qualified Speaker of the House and a Deputy Speaker of the House that will put Liberia on the map, that will ensure that our House the House of Representatives is respected again. I want a speaker that will also hold this new administration accountable. I want a speaker that will not just approve everything sent by the executive. I want a speaker that will ensure that the House thoroughly look into the budget, pick what is right for the Liberian people, and if it's possible, decline what is not, there in the interest of the Liberian people.
Thank you.
We should not have a house that look like the house we have had under this George Weah administration. Let's make some changes. As we have made changes in the executive, let's make changes in the House as well.
So, Sandy, again, on that your point,
yeah.
Chairman Musa Hassan Ability, Representative Thomas Fala, Representative Fonati Kofa, Representative Richard Nagwe Kun, the four individuals, the four names now, making your own, analysis of those people. Though you say for Representative Kun, you're not too familiar with the name, but placing them in order as per your own rating, to making your own rating of them from 1 to 4. What do you think should be the position of those individuals based on how close you think they should be when those decisions are being made?
So among those four people, right? Let's be fair. Let me take out Musa Hassan Belete. Let me get
him out.
Let me get him out.
No, but why are you taking the chairman out? No.
The reason chairman is getting out. Listen, the reason chairman is getting out. Chairman is new to the House.
Okay.
Chairman don't know how the House functions. Let chairman learn first. You can just be new student and want to be
class president.
The president of the class.
Exactly. Motive.
Learn first. Once you have learned and you know how the House works, then we can think about you. Then let's go to our man Fala, Tomo Fala. Tomo Fala, you'll get that man away. Tomo Fala. Let Tomo Fala. Okay, there's the thing. Let me be fair to Tomo Fala small.
Yeah.
Tomo Fala just changed his district. Whatever reason he ran away from Mosorado, he went to Lofa. Let him focus on Lofa small. Let him focus on Lofa small. Once he's adjusted in Lofa and he's doing well in Lofa, then we can think about a major leadership role. Quite frankly, among those four names again, I don't know Representative Kohn, but I think Fulani Kofa is the man right now on my plate.
Okay.
But I'm hoping we can hear other names.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you very much. Amy, you can take us home now. Do your closing.
Yeah, thank you very, very much. But yeah, Cindy, with those four names for me, I think Thomas Fala, Musa Belede. Oh, good gosh, no. And then who else again? Fonati Kofa, I'm hearing some things about him, about his record, that I'm not too thrilled with. So, I mean, Richard Kun, I don't know anything about him, but I have the feeling that if a government comes to power, and sometimes in order for you to fulfill some promises that were made, you need a speaker on your team, right? That will not only from your team, but you also have a credible character, right? To be able to support your agenda as well. Not saying just yes to everything, but most of your good agendas that you want to and promises that you want to something to be able to get it through, and not having people there that's that want to sabotage your government from the start and wants to be there to just get it and have their own motive and stuff. We shouldn't. I mean, Liberia should be the first in our mind, but at this point, we have a lot of petty betty in it something that we cannot something. So you need someone from a unity party that will be able to something, and then maybe a deputy speaker for somewhere else. because the agenda of the president needs to be
with that in mind, I mean, sorry to interrupt you. With that in mind, we have Deputy Speaker Funati Kofa, who is from the CDC. You have Representative Richard Nagwekun, who is from the Unity Party.
How long has he been here?
Oh, he's been with the Unity Party since. I mean, he contested in 2011, and and he was.
Is he the guy from District 15 or 13?
District 11. District 11.
He's from District 11.
Contested to take over from how do you call it? Tanapoli, right?
Yeah.
After Tanapoli won that election, and then when Tanapoli won, Tanapoli took over, and in no time he passed. And then he contested with Gabriel Yinkan. Gabriel Yinkan won, and then after that, in 2011, 2017, now he won, but throughout he went with the Unity Party. Yeah, that's just to say that.
Yeah, so that could be somebody that could be in the interest of the president. Hopefully, he has a good character as well. To be, and I think people in the house and other independent and alliances should support. If that is the only thing, should support that person, and then maybe mix it up with another party with a deputy speakership. But for Fonantico, for his record as well and ability, and then for that, yeah, no, nah.
So someone is suggesting Representative you can call back.
Nah, one you get to make some noise. We don't want him to sit down with a gavel in his hand.
We don't want to cap it.
We don't want no. We don't want you get because when you get
he might want to hit somebody with that gavel. We don't want.
We want Yeke. Nothing quickly. Yeah. We want Yeke in the house to be what you call a noise maker for bad bills. We want Yeke to be the Speaker of the House. And in all fairness, like Amy said, I don't know who this Representative Kun guy is, but listen, those guys the whole thing about the House, people who listen to our voices tonight, maybe tomorrow will stress on that. You need to call your representatives. You need to call your representative because we can vote. When I say we, y'all Librarians, y'all can vote, but y'all can tell your representative who you want to be the Speaker. The Speaker has a third man. That's the third man in power. The third man to power.
Thank you. We gotta go.
I'm not done yet. Y'all hijacked my closing.
Oh, we did?
Yeah.
Okay.
So
so let's just have you to close.
Yeah, so that's and I hope we were like Hans said, stress on there a little bit more, Nelson. And my last point is,
you know what I want us to do? I want us to bring.
There you go again.
Yeah, I want us to
listening.
bring folks from the both sides, right? For that to go far, maybe he gets some office staff, then some people who think they know much about him, from Mr. Chairman Bility, from Representative Kun. Let's bring them. Let's. But anyway, I mean, you did a closing now, right? I think we have.
No, you keep hijacking me. That's what I'm saying.
This is what I would suggest to you. Reach out to the candidate themselves and listen to them whether they are willing to sacrifice the time to come and talk to the librarian people. Reach out to them.
We don't need to. We already know that attitude. So yeah. My brother judge, the United Party don't have to have everybody from this side in the cabinet because, I mean, it's not that you don't want to see somebody life advancing, but in a blink of an eye, if a person couldn't afford a room, and all of a sudden they got mansions all over the place, and government is not supposed to be where you get all something, and then they doing flashy cars and houses here and there, involving in. I mean, that's what we are talking about. Nobody said that people that was chosen from back home should not. Your life would change a little bit. We will see it, but not in a way that it has been in the CDC. So don't mislead our people to tell them and say, "Oh, when people see your life change, they're jealous of you." That's just wrong. That's not true.
Thank you. Well, we have to go. I want to say thanks to everyone for being here tonight. It's in the morning here in Liberia. Josh, thanks for being here. We appreciate you. Hans,
I met
thanks a
Joe.
lot.
Sorry if you felt offended, brother. That is in the midst of the moment. It's okay.
Alfred Konowa,
It's okay,
July,
Alfred. You're forgiven.
and Amy, the rescue missionary. I don't know what you what is it that is still rescuing, but thanks a lot. We want to
Abby says
appreciate
she keeping her
our
top
audience.
on until her papete power before she change it.
Thank you. Till
We
after
want
the
to appreciate our
inauguration.
audience as well. Thanks to everyone for being a part of this, and we look forward to coming back here tomorrow with another edition of the program.
Yeah,
Until then,
Princeton,
have a good night.
Sweat,
Bye bye to everyone.
Humble, Quinto, Lisa, Rayleigh.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Mikey has been watching from the back as well. Thanks to you, Mikey. Thanks a whole lot. Okay, so bye bye. Bye
Good
bye
night,
to
y'all.
everyone. Good night.
Good night.
And
Good
Amy,
night,
see you,
Nelson.
the rescue missionary. And folks, you can join us tomorrow again for another edition of the program. Until then, bye bye for now.
Friday the Southern Band.